everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. We're doing a little mood lighting today because it just feels right. And I apologize for running late. I'm making a pot of tea. So I'm gonna go put that together and bring it over here so we can get started. So if Kitty Cat, if you would do me the honor, I'm not even gonna BRB screen. I'm just gonna leave her to do her work. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. And a pot of tea. The tea cozy with a bunch of duckies on it. I got a mug. I got a place to put my tea leaves when we're steeped. I should probably set a timer, otherwise we're not going to remember that. What kind of tea do we have today? I'm making a big old pot of gunpowder green tea. I decided to be a big girl and take out the tea leaves today and not just chuck a tea bag. Some days we're not. Living that life. Enjoyed our Kira time. No worries. Cutest pot cozy wife. Thank you. There's stuff like that. There's a million and they're all cute and it's hard to pick one, but I committed to the ducks and I enjoy them very much. Gunpowder. It's just the name of the, there's no actual explosives in them. It's just the name of what I guess it looks like when it's rolled, or I don't know, maybe there's a historical fact nugget that explains it. Hi, sweetie. Although, the one thing about the tea cozy is it's definitely stealing focus here, so where else can I put it? Here, we'll put the water over here. And then we get I have a tea towel, but I kind of lost it. I washed it yesterday, and I don't know what I did with it after I folded it. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Alright, yes, I know. If you're not buying new animal shirts, animal cozies will do. Okay, Diablo 3 Season 32 started today. Good morning, Hazel. Good morning, everybody. Oh, there we go. That's what the game music sounds like. Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to the beginning of the end of your week, if your week begins with an end of a Friday. Something like that. Hi, baby girl. How you doing? You're nice and soft. You sleeping? You good? Hope you had a restful evening last night. Yeah, I ended up doing less than I thought I was gonna do, in terms of being productive. But I did a lot of resting. I ended up falling asleep for a bit, and then I took like a really hot bath, and it was good. It was good because we were up and at it again this morning. I am still down to Pandoran Tome. And that's what I want to try and do today if we can. We got a pre-patch date announcement. Pre-patch is confirmed for the 23rd now, which is great. That's kind of what we had in mind. And I would love to get at least this book, if not a couple other mogs as well before then, but we'll see what we can do. Self-care night? Yeah, I'm just trying to baby my little muscles and joints and stuff along here to see if I can keep them in business. Get a newsy news Saturday with all that. Yeah, I'll have to see what else happened. I'm kind of selfishly hoping that while exciting news, it wasn't terribly complicated news, so that I can get a video together today without too much noodly stuff, because, well, honestly, because I'm tired. I've been up for a bit, and we worked pretty hard this morning, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way to dinner time. There may be a crash in my future. But I can always get up early tomorrow and I can finish it then. or I can start it then if that's what it comes to. We'll just do what we can. I know they've been a bit late recently. And I would eventually like to get them back to being 6 a.m. on Saturdays, but we're taking everything at the pace that we have. That's why we have the huge pot of tea. Yeah, I am team rehydrate Hazel this morning, so I've had a ton of water. I had like a half a liter of coconut water, and now I'm having a huge pot of tea. Shellfish hitting max item level today? No, I think that I've been doing... No. Soon. In the next couple of days, I would assume, if I'm doing it pretty easily. It would go faster if I did more raids, especially if I start doing like heroic siege, but I don't think I'm in a big hurry. I want to do my triple dailies and I want to do my Q dailies to kind of get my easy bronze for upgrades, but then I mainly want to either quest or grind in Kun Lai for that book. We did a lot of the quests through here. These ones, I think, there is a little hub over here that I can do, but a lot of these ones send you into the next zone, which is going to be a different loot pool. Yeah, this is your mount. This is your mount vendor here. You've got your Mr. Hemet. He's got some beasts by him. I don't know why he has an infinite armor Eden by him. That's like a... Isn't that like a Keystone Master mount? Like, I don't think he sells it. Maybe it's just there for the theme because we're time traveling. Falling down a very neon rabbit hole. Vaporwave, synth, outright music. Kind of obsessed. Nice. It's his flex. He got Keystone Master before I did. Oh, are we already... Oh. I zoned into a scenario that was already in progress. That almost never happens to me. They must need me. I'm coming. Wait for Hazel. Hold on. Okay, alright. Something like this. It's kind of cool seeing Shellfish finally become useful. He's still not like squidgy levels of powerful, and he never will be because I'm not bothering to farm spools. I haven't been doing world bosses at all. But just getting your gear fully upgraded makes a pretty substantial difference in what you're able to do. I did not mean to hit that live storm, but that's alright. How many minutes ago did I sit down? Do you think my tea's ready? It's probably ready. I don't mind it strong though, so I'm just going to leave it till the end of the scenario. Good morning. You did something to your light again? I just turned one of them off. We're having mood lighting today. I turned them both on and it was more light than I wanted. Besides, this makes the lamps in the back glow a little more. One player died too many times and rage quit. Do you play other games besides WoW? Finally finished Legacy on my PS5. Started 1.5 months ago. Nice. I play other games sometimes. Generally not on stream, unless I'm feeling really ambitious. The obvious next thing to say is the games that I like to play. Recently, it's just been Stardew Valley. I've been playing the 1.6 patch of Stardew Valley and enjoying it very much. That's kind of like if I have time to take an extra like half an hour or an hour at the end of the day, or 6 hours straight on a weekend, what are you gonna do? If I have the time to nest up on the couch and play that, I love doing that. I've got a Meadowlands farm that I'm chugging along with. Animal Crossing New Horizons, although I'm not currently playing. I have in my mind that I'm gonna eventually start a new island again, because my favorite thing to do in that game is honestly just starting over. Like, I'll play it for like 4 months, a lot, and then I'll stop playing it, and then I'll just kill the island and start fresh, because that's the gameplay loop that brings me joy, I guess. Hungover after an intense night of partying, that's why the lights hurt. I didn't put on any makeup this morning because I figure I don't want to do it twice today, and I'm gonna do it later if I end up recording a news video. And I'm also a little behind on sleep. And I've been up for a little bit, and I like turned all the lights on, and I looked at my face and I looked at my skin, and I'm like, you know what? We don't need 2 lights on this morning. This is not a full lighting kind of skin day. Maybe a different day. Right now, it's kind of cozy to just keep it a little dim. You know, get comfy. Have a nice little cup of tea. Yeah. Oh yeah, Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Love me some Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I haven't been on them super much recently, but I've been having fun playing duos. All right, let's get this tea. Let's get this tea going. Here, we'll share. When tea cozy comes off and it's nice and warm, you can warm up your chili fingies in there. Oh, I do love Valheim. I like survival crafting games. So Valheim Raft, don't starve. Oh no, I'm not! My dungeon coupon. Oh, this is the wrong container. This is the right container. Don't mind me. Also, as is tradition, I spilled a bunch of it on my desk mat. This is why we launder them more often than you would think. Oh. I did not think that was going to be as tough to hold up as it was. Okay, and then we'll just scooch that until it's out of focus. Yeah, we all good. Alright. Survival builder of the month. I don't tend to get into new ones super often. I'm somebody that doesn't... I like to know a game a little bit. So once I've learned a game and I know that I like it, I'll play it a lot as opposed to trying like every new thing that hits the block, because I know I always have a miserable time starting games. I'm a sucky learner. I'm a cranky learner. I get grumpy, I get tilted, I get frustrated. It's no fun at all. And if I'm playing games for fun, it doesn't seem worth it to push through for like more games than I can reasonably keep up with. I don't even know how to drop this thing. So I have a tendency to find a game that I like and then just play the daylights out of that even when new stuff comes out. Although I do occasionally hop on trends. I tried a little Pal World. That was kind of fun. Also, while you're mad is patterned. I ended up keeping the old one. It cleaned up reasonably well in the wash, so now I just have two. And whenever I've spilled enough tea on one of them, I just chuck it in the wash and then rotate out to the other one. Oh yeah, Pokemon, that's right. Sometimes in the summer, too much sun makes me prefer dark places. I like this because it reminds me of sleeping. One of those tea friends to spill the tea on too. I used to have them. I had a whole tea ceremony board set up with a proper Gaiwan and whatnot. It was like a restful thing to do, but I did burn my fingers a lot. It's not something I've done in a long time. I had a little dragon thing. I remember that. I remember that particular Hazel phase. Should get into that. Otaku. It's a Chinese tea thing. It's not Japanese. It's different. Where are we doing? Am I opening these? I can open them later. I don't need to open them right now. I had a thought, but they're not sticking around in my brain very long. It must not have been important. I'm just gonna press my buttons and take some nice big breaths, and then we'll figure out something to say in a little bit. Still don't quite get tea pets for pouring boards. To each their own. I wonder if sometimes there's a satisfaction to seeing it evolve as you continue to use it, because a proper unglazed one is going to change in character as tea continues to get layered over it and over it and over it. There must be something to that. He's got a big shield barrier. That's alright. Tea each their own, right? They soak up the first pour. Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's just to feel like you're not wasting that first steep. Something like that. I couldn't say. I'm not an authority. I can count on one hand the amount of things that I'm qualified to speak on properly, but I guess we don't come to streams for, wisdom. I don't really know why we come to streams. It's a place to be. It's less quiet than just being in your own head with nothing going on. Oh, I got it done. I got a weapon. I don't think I needed it, though. I think it was just... we can scrap it for bronze. I should really be, at this item level, at 427, I should be carrying a lot harder than this. If I just... surely I could just, at this point, mash a little Holy Nova and get somewhere in my life. You're drinking tea while healing. You are actually a monk and not a priest. What if I go through like a really big wellness phase? And then I decide that in order to complement my choices, I need to switch to monk in World of Warcraft. That's what's gonna take my practice to the next level. I need my mana tea. Don't even know how Holy carries things. I understand that for like the trial account twinks, it's very Holy Nova loaded. For a couple of reasons. But at like 474, which we're not at yet, but we will be.
Dispel boss.
I don't know. It's probably just a lot of Lifestorm like anything else. Even whenever I was playing, and then just using your attack so that your gems can proc. Whenever I was on Squidgy, my Beast Cleave and my Kill Command and whatnot, they would do good damage. But they were always miles behind just like Searing Light and Searing Light from Lifestorm, and then whatchamacallem, like Explosive Barrage, Meteor Storm, that kind of thing. No, that's okay. Although I actually probably, this is mean of me, but I'm probably going to queue for that wing. Whole brand of tea that's called Monastery Tea. Pretty priestly to me. It smells nice. It feels nice on my hands. A little hot though. That's good. How are you guys doing today? How are you feeling? How's your day going so far?
What do you want?
I was in town this morning and there was a woman who was walking with a large wooden stick and she was tapping various things like bins and signs and parking meters and buildings and whatnot. And she told me to have a great day. And I said, you too, in the shyest, most quiet voice that has ever come out of a human being. And it was really nice. I still don't know what she was doing. And I don't know if I want to ask. But I liked the energy. Okay, let's do the other ones then. The normal dungeon and the normal scenario. Yeah, that's the thing. You said, don't tell me what to do. No. Bought my tusks last night, so now it's just farming Mog. Nice. Good tea, organic, grown in the gardens.
Brothers, dispose of these insolent outsiders.
That sounds lovely. I have more tea than I can realistically drink in before it goes stale. I should drink tea more often. That is still my favorite response to things like have a nice day. Oh.
Huzzah! Weaklings.
I think thank you is also a perfectly valid response. Catherine, thank you for the 20-month resub. Hello, everyone. Hello. The gem of thank you came to me well after I was already out of the interaction, but I'll save it for next time if I see her again. Just my kind of humor. Oh, I need to adjust my camera so you guys can see. She's pretty far out of my shot. She's not as close to center as I thought we were. Oh, holy moly. Never say it to anybody except my very best friends. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was imagining you just absolutely like roasting like a grocery store clerk who tells you to have a nice day and you're like, don't tell me what to do, and then you take your lentils and you storm out of there. Comp man on a 60 stream streak. That's a lot of hazel. I hope you're doing all right. Sore? Yeah. It's good. It feels good. It feels good. We just need to take it a little easy on a couple of parts and let them rest up, and we'll be in good shape. Stream freezing for anyone else? Oh, I hope not. My bitrate looks good. Maybe a refresh. I knew I was sore when I went to lift my teapot, and my arm was like, ugh. Not so fast. Somebody had 100 streak. That is impressive.
Wish to undo what your kind have brought upon our land, you must first prove yourselves here in our school.
Something that I'm not good at yet, but that I'm trying to practice is paying attention to different kinds of sensations that are like leading up to and following and around soreness and discomfort and pain and whatnot, so that I can get a better read on them to figure out when is it basically when do I need to ease up and when is it something that I can breathe into, because I really don't want to injure myself, and I want to make sure that I'm listening to my body and I'm honoring what my body needs, but I also have a very long history of running very far from anything unpleasant at the slightest provocation, and that's a habit that I want to work through and learn to sit with things for a minute before I turn them off. And as it turns out, sometimes sore feels kind of good. Sometimes it's nice once you kind of get into it and you pay a little bit of attention to it. Plus, usually by the time I'm sore, it means that I'm done the hard part, and then you just kind of enjoy feeling all noodly for a day or two. When is it soreness and when is it a heart attack? Do your joints hyperextend? My elbows used to hyper rotate. They wouldn't bend too far the wrong way, but they would swivel too far. I haven't had issues with that in a long time though. Right now my hip flexors are barely doing anything at all. They're real mad. I was sitting on the floor this morning eating breakfast, and then I saw Moosey sleeping on the couch, and I was like, I want to go hug him. And he was like 2 feet from me, and I was like, he's so close, but he's so far. I crawled my way over there. I felt like I don't know why I felt cute, but I felt very cute drinking my coconut water this morning after practice. I might get more of those. They're not too expensive if you get them on sale. Can you demonstrate what you mean by elbows swivel too far? I'd really rather not. It just means that, like, I used to get chewed out for this in dance class. Like, if you're in whatever position it is, I forget, where your arms are, like, fully extended to the side, and the inside of your elbow is supposed to face more or less to the front. Mine would face too far to the top. Like, if my arms are stretched all the way out, my elbows are pointing pretty much straight up. If I am not cautious to rein them in from that. But that used to be a dance problem. I haven't dealt with that in a long time. Don't actually do it, just show the direction. Can you get your leg over the shower side today? I did. It was still a challenge. It'll get better. It was funny. It's kind of like a one leg at a time and take a breath in between sort of deal. Oh, I need to help purify people, I think. I think that's what's going on. But I'm not complaining at all. I'm pretty tickled pink that I'm doing anything at all. The inside of your elbow, not the pointy bit, but like the inside where it flexes. Finding muscles you didn't know you had. I might just be growing a couple of new ones. Who's to say? Yeah. Not the pointy bit that you would throw in someone's face if they were trying to take your puppy. The opposite side of that. We're ready for this. I've had a busy couple of days, but I should be more or less in good shape now. I made yesterday harder on myself by going out a second time later in the day because I wanted to try to find a yoga mat that I could get that would have better grip than the one that I had, so that I could have it for practice this morning. And I went and I found something, which is good, but I decided not to drive, and sometimes depending on where you want to go, busing takes a little bit. I did not spend $300. I did not. Although I may spend a little bit more to get like a bag to carry it in that also has pockets for like my phone and keys and stuff, because right now I'm like giga juggling and it's kind of a problem trying to get all my bits together. Oh, it's this scenario. I like this one. Although I never jump on it. I don't even try to jump on people anymore. I'd rather just hit them normally. Doing physical therapy, an adventure discovering which muscles are connected to each other, pain in all kinds of new places. I've never thought of the different muscles of my body in this much isolation before, where I'm thinking of like, okay, this thing hurts. This thing is sore. What are some gentle ways that I can isolate and stretch this one? Or what are some things that I can do to help strengthen like this side, or maybe this is out of balance and I need to strengthen this side to kind of shore it up a little bit. And I think it's a good thing that I'm doing any of this, because I wasn't paying very much attention to my body. I was someone that kind of existed very much up here and had a very limited relationship with what's going on all around here. And I think it'll be really good for me to learn how to be more intentional and kind of grounded physically, if I stick with it. I'm notorious for getting really into things and then ditching them. And to the point that I don't even judge myself if it happens anymore. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. So we'll see. But I'm happy so far. Good old duffel bag for carrying workout gear is good to have. Do you roll out your muscles with a spiky ball, or the things that look like a pool noodle? I don't have a foam roller. I was thinking about it, but I also decided that I should maybe cool it on buying equipment for a little bit until I get a better feel for what I really need and what I'm just excited about. Because I have a tendency to overshop for new things when I'm very excited about them, and I have enough stuff right now. Sometimes you also get really into things and do them forever. That is true. I had a big World of Warcraft phase when I was 16, and apparently that's still here, so... I don't completely abandon everything. I guess I still drink tea. I've got an aquarium. My fishies are doing good. I'm pretty into the cat. Foam rollers are game-changing. Had to learn anatomy in school. All the formal names for these things swirl around in my head. Moose might see a foam roller as a new toy. Do highly recommend a roller. Moose sees everything as a toy until you tell him it's not for him, and then he's like, fine. Can we play with one of my things that is for me? Please, I'm bored. I love that dogs can be so dramatic. It's the husky. Bit spoiled because the spiky balls and the foam rollers are very cheap here. I'm sure there are ways to buy them for cheap here. It's just if you want to just like walk into a store and get anything, then pretty much nothing's going to be cheap. Maybe at Walmart. They might have them at Walmart. They can't possibly charge too much money at Walmart, right? Husky is drama. I like to think Moose is the moment. He had a great walk this morning. He got to meet a dog that he's been dying to meet for ages, and then he got to he saw one of his people friends, one of the neighbors that knows him, and the neighbor was like, "Hey buddy," and Moose was like, "Whoa, let's play," and started tearing around, and the guy's like, "Sorry." And I was like, "No, he's happy. This is his favorite thing. Didn't do anything wrong." Cousin has a full husky. It's time to go home. No. $10 or whatever. Yeah, I'll see how I'm doing. I think I'm a little extra sore just because I'm just starting out, and my body is like in shock. It's very confused. I haven't done anything difficult with it. And that's actually not fair. I go on some pretty good hikes. I do some not beginner hikes. They're not like, you know, Olympian ice climber hikes or anything, but I do some good hiking fairly regularly, but I hadn't done anything like this to it, and it's like, really? We're gonna do it again? Okay. Still thought we were talking about dogs. Thinking about you getting a dog from a store that's mostly car parts. Oh, speaking of unnecessary gadgets that I bought when I was out shopping for the yoga mat, I also stopped at a pet store, and I picked up a water bottle that's just for Moose that has like a little dog bowl that screws onto the top of it, so that, because we had been taking like a separate little dog bowl along with like a water bottle like this, just a little bit smaller. But that small water bottle is the one that I take whenever I'm going out in the car, or now I've been taking it to yoga, and I'm sick of like cleaning it and taking the straw and like reclaiming it from dog water to me water to dog water again. So he has his own water bottle now, and that one can be mine. Mom doesn't want to share. What have I done? Am I set to... Have I done my dailies? Oh, I probably want to do a raid finder. Probably want to do one of these guys just to get my raid finder daily. My raidly. Didn't know ice climbing hikes were Olympic. Good for them. I actually don't know if ice climbing is in the Olympics. It's probably not. I'm just making stuff up over here. Keep drinking enough. Muscles need water. Yeah, that was my big mistake on... Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Was I went and I worked pretty hard, and I lost a lot of water. And then one of the things is during your yoga practice, you're allowed to, of course, if there's like a health concern, they're not going to stop you from doing it, but it's encouraged to not drink any water until your practice is completely finished. And I that part was fine, but then on my way home and later in the day, I had some water, but I didn't really like commit to it, and I think I've been just catching up ever since. So I've had a lot more so far today. Plus some green tea, coconut water, good stuff. Don't expect to see it in the upcoming Olympics, at least. Olympics next week? Yeah, something like that. I've been watching the Netflix docuseries Sprint about 100 and 200 meter sprinters, and I'm enjoying it greatly. And I want to finish it before the Olympics so I can see if any of the people featured are in the Olympics, so I can be excited about them because I saw them on the TV.
Power over the stones of the earth. Their magic lingers on, even centuries later.
Oh, that tea is so good. I'm so glad I stopped to make that. Hazel, hello. Hi, Scarlett. How are you doing? Happy Friday.
The door mechanism seems to have activated with the demise of the Guardians.
I hope everything is well. I'm good. Good to hear it. Lovely to see you here. Ooh, I got a thing that I actually needed. Ha ha ha. From LFR, no less. Those are always good to check off the list. It's not a Pandaren tome, but it's one less thing on the Trove tally list. Where we're at 62 of 119, so literally just one more thing, because I know we were hard stuck on 61 yesterday. Wife likes the opening ceremony because there's an ultra buff Tongan guy she has a crush on. Oh yeah. Getting more impatient for pre-patch because I want it now.
Only to rise again.
You gotta learn the song from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Keeping track of drinking water. Thought I was drinking enough, but wasn't even close to the amount that I needed. Water's usually one thing that I don't struggle with of all of the things that I do in my life, because I keep like, oh, that's heavy. Oh my god. I keep a 40-ounce water bottle. I guess I don't know how much I technically need, but before I started exercising, I would keep my 40-ounce water bottle on me, and I would get through it maybe twice a day. And then I also had a water glass that I would kind of fill in between meals. So it was like the one thing that I wasn't worried about. But I may need more now. Tried to do so much LFR yesterday. Only got 2 or 3 weapons. Still need a lot more. Hey, those are 2 or 3 weapons that you get to keep, though. Oh, hi, kitty cat. You want to come up? Fill a 1 liter thing twice a day, plus whatever I drink on top of that. Should be enough. All right, I'm gonna Google this person. I'm expecting. I guess I don't know what I'm expecting. That's a sweaty image to come up first. Is he an athlete? Tonga's popular flag viral star. Overnight sensation 5 years ago when he marched shirtless in a traditional costume at the opening ceremony of the 2016 Rio Games. And again in 2018. He's a motivational speaker and UNICEF ambassador. That's cool. Oh, hi, kitty cat. Show stream, please. You're gonna have to Google on your own. Shiny. Plus, I don't want to go super hard objectifying somebody if I'm not sure if that's the kind of attention that they want. I thought I needed a 2 liter, but I actually need 3 liters. I have to have a reminder on my phone to drink water. Just always forget.
What do you want?
I find it way easier to drink water when I have it on hand and I'm doing something else. I have to be doing it kind of mindlessly. If I'm thinking about it, I won't want to. How much is 40 ounces anyways? That's a great question. Let me get that in metric. 1.13 liters, I guess. It says kilograms, but I'm assuming that's the same thing. Because 1 liter of water would be a kilogram, right? Or am I having a dumb moment? Fluid ounces. Oh, it's 0.0011 cubic meters. That's not helpful. Liters. 1.18 liters. It's a little over 1 liters. Liter. I'm having a moment. Oh boy. 2 pints? I couldn't tell you what a pint is. I only know that that's ounces because that's what they printed on the bottom of the bottle. I think it's from a company that mainly sells in America. Okay, so I did my dailies. I got my 20k from that. So let's slam any upgrades that we can here. We're trying to get our stuff to 486 currently. So chest piece. Oh, I actually never did the weapon. That's going to be expensive. 4 quarts is a gallon? Because quart is quarter. Oh. It goes so fast, but we're up to 431. That's something. Plus, we lucked out and we got a mace from LFR. Those are so nice to get. They're annoying. Oh, wait, what happened? There we go. Imperial's too much math for me. We use such a funny mix and match, mishmash of metric and Imperial here casually. It's very arbitrary which things we tend to use metric for and which things we tend to not. But sometimes it's helpful to have to be able to do both. Yeah, we can go turn that in. That seems good. All right, I am embarking on my journey to try to force this game to give me that red book. If we're getting any more boxes, we can play the gambling game again, but I think I'm running out of quests that will give them to me in this zone. Also, blatantly shocking to me that I managed to fill, like, what, 2 bags of boxes to get these 4 items from Kunlai Summit, and I got none of them. Nothing. Not even, there's a mace, there's a fan, there's the tome, that's the one that I want specifically, and there's a lantern. They're all awesome. I would love all of them. But I can't believe we didn't get any of them. Not even something that wasn't on my list. Hard farm. The yak people, I told you the books are annoying. Apparently everything so far. I think I've been getting a bit unlucky. Or maybe I'm just complaining. Oh yeah, we can get some good boxes from here. We're still in the Kunlai Summit. Alright. Good news is that our gear is in much better shape than it was a couple days ago, so it's really no stress.
What is it?
It's kind of nice that we put off hard farming as long as we have, because it's going to go a lot better now that I'm 430 than it was when I was like 400 or even 380. I think my hydro flask is 40 ounces. Try to do 2 of those. Fully cleared the quest from Jade Forest and Cross the Roaring Wilds. No fan or book. It's brutal. It just makes me want it more. Blind Rage Essence. There we go. I'm going to put this on a different button. What do we not need here? Nobody's pressing Flash Heal, really. Nobody needs it. We can get a comfier Shadow or Pinky Bind for the moment. It's even in mouse over, so we can just kind of bloop, bloop, bloop. What is the Cross-Ring farm spot, just out of curiosity? I'm missing... Am I missing stuff from there? I must be. I'm not. Am I? Dread Waste, 10 Long Steps, Kunlai Summit, Vale, Jade Forest. Oh no, I guess not. I wonder if that's one of the ones that I did on this character then. And I just got lucky and I got everything from it? That's crazy. That doesn't sound right. Although a few of these things are also from Vale. Okay, the RNG for weapon T-Mogs and world and raids. It definitely gives you a project if that's something you're looking for. I feel for anybody though that wasn't looking for a project but feels like they really want to get them while they're available. Because that's a big grind if you're not feeling like it. That's a lot of work.
Tell me of your travels.
I feel like I really should go get that flight point. It's just talking to me. It's calling me. I don't think I'm ever going to use it, but that's fine. Runes of Dojam, bunch of Mogu, spawn at the top part and around the bottom. Oh, okay. Good to know. I'll try and remember that if I need it. Although at this rate, we're going to be getting this one book, maybe, before pre-patch, and then we're going to be out of time before pre-patch. I really picked a bit of a stinker, didn't I?
White Tiger watch over you.
You need to be extremely lucky to get all of them, or just grind like you're insane. Yeah, I don't think I'm just not putting in the time. I would need to put in a lot more time if I wanted to get everything.
What wisdom do you seek?
We're doing 3 hours a day, but I'm also taking, what, half an hour-ish to do dailies first as well. I think I'm just going to open boxes as we go today.
What wisdom
I don't think I'm going to get enough of them to really fill my bags again anyways. So I think we'll just do them in little baby batches. Especially because every time I gamble, we're absolutely fleecing you guys for your channel points because everybody believes and then it doesn't drop because it's really rare, and then
must not
points to the unbelievers.
The wall must stand.
Although if we keep doing it, then
Beware
eventually I
the
think people would
western
bet
wind.
on it not dropping. And then when it does, it would be a huge upset. Possible, right? Alright, fine. I'll hold on to them for a little bit. We need so many Mogs that I don't think we're going to overcap them. Excuse me. Where did he go? Oh, I made a mistake. I pressed the trap before I found... Oh, there he is! There we go. That's better. That is how gambling works, yes. Why doesn't your trove tally have check marks? It is taking it off the list when I get it instead. That's an option that I have for it. You can change it in the setting if you like. I like seeing the list get smaller, but the other way is perfectly valid too. I guess I do have more quests to do here still. Maybe we'll just get it from a rare. It's possible. Fly west to check on the War Scouts Warbringer. It's a good idea. I remember doing the pet battles out here. I used to do my Pandaren pet battle dailies every day. I don't recall for what. I think it was before pet charms. Maybe I was farming for pets to sell. I think I was farming for pets to sell, or I was leveling pets. I used to level pets just by doing 2 pet strats for my dailies, and I would rotate pets through that. It felt more consistent to me than trying to blitz it all during a super squirt day. Greetings, happy Friday. How are things? Hello, Day. Happy Friday to you. Things are good. Things are good. Hazel is sore. In a good way. Can lie there east on the edge of the cliff. Oh, you know what just dropped for me? Huh. Oh. Did you lift heavy things? Me. I'm the heavy thing. I started I'm learning yoga. Or it's learning me. Huge fan. Huge get. Those are apparently tricky. The offhands are, for whatever reason, people say they're difficult to get a hold of, so I'm quite pleased with that. It is like old mustard yellow, but there might be a mog that goes with it. Hazel, is that your biggest fan? Nah. I know who my biggest fan is. Fan is not easy. There's so many kinds of yoga. I am learning Ashtanga yoga, and it's kicking my butt right now. But in a good way. I like the format. I'm sure that means something. It's instead of more like sort of free flow, mixing up different flows and doing various lead classes, it's more of there's a specific sequence that you learn, and you add to it one step at a time as soon as you're ready, and you're doing it at kind of a very self-paced, in sort of a self-paced way. But it's definitely like a project to learn. Like there's things to remember. You have to control your breathing. It's a pretty good practice. Ashtanga is great. You will love it. You like the format of butt kicking? I really do, actually. Although I'm not very bendy, so there is no kicking of my own butt by myself just yet. My flexibility is not good right now. I should rephrase that. My flexibility is not. What's a word that doesn't moralize it? I don't bend as far as I think I might bend one day. Maybe we'll go with that. I have to modify a lot of poses, especially right now while my hamstrings are mad at me. But it's encouraging. Plus, I wanted to do something that challenged me a bit. I wanted to do something that would require a bit of effort and a little bit of grit. I want the confidence boost that you get from doing a tough thing. I didn't want to do something that was just a gimme and then just go back to bed and be lazy. I wanted to do something that would push me a little bit.
What is it?
Aspirational bender. There you go. Are people nice to you? Everybody I've worked with has been absolutely lovely and very welcoming. And I know it's like kind of the point of the environment, but it's like a very self-conscious thing to start doing, especially when you're new and you know that you're not very experienced yet. And everyone's like, I don't feel like I'm being judged for learning, which is perfect, because I would cry. I'm a little oversensitive to criticism. I have a little bit of the rejection hypersensitivity, which is something that I'm working on, and it's a me problem and not an other people problem, but like it's nice that it is that welcoming. One thing about WoW that I learned is that loot is determined when mobs spawn on the map, so maybe the book is there. You just need to find it. Oh, that's a different way of looking at it. Is it you? Is it you? That kind of makes me want to farm. I'm imagining it being hidden, like a hidden aura on one of these mobs has the book to drop. Know how hard new things can be. The hardest part by far for me, and it still is, but it's getting easier as I keep going, was working up the courage to like sign up for a class and walk into the studio. It is so scary to walk into a room of people you don't know to do something that you don't know how to do, even when that's literally the whole point of the exercise. It's like terrifying. I was so scared for that first class that I could barely like retain a word the whole time. But I'm really glad that I went, and yeah, all of the different postures and transitions and whatnot are difficult, and my body hates me. Actually, that's not true. My body doesn't hate me. It's just speaking to me. But not nearly as hard as walking into that room and trying to introduce myself.
Action speaks louder than
Same when you enter a raid. All loot is determined when you zone in. If one wanted to give you feedback, would you respond better to, that was bad, try doing this instead, or this was good already, but try doing this instead? I think an important qualifier first is whether or not it's an environment in which feedback is like expected and looked for. I think that solicited versus unsolicited feedback is a very different thing for me. But like in the context of this environment where I'm there to learn a skill and there's instructors that are there to help you, I don't necessarily need them to tell me that I'm doing great, sweetie, but maybe we can tighten this thing up a little bit more. Yeah, sometimes they'll say, I'm noticing that you're doing this. Can we try doing this? Or the thing that we're really aiming for looks more like this. Maybe try this modification to see if that can get you there. You know, they're not going to super sugarcoat it, but they're also not going to tell you that was stinky. Do it better. Because a lot of things you just can't do right away, and no amount of wanting to do it is going to make you do it. So the idea is to find the closest thing that you can to get to do it, or the modification that's going to help you build the balance and strength that you need to get there. Something like that. I don't know. I'm brand new. I'm talking on my butt. I'm also really doing terribly at this quest. I'm supposed to be slaying the tree launchers. Oh, by blowing up the barrel? I've lit myself on fire. This seems really dangerous. Well, they're bombs. I guess that's the point. Oh, okay. I was doing it wrong. Important part of a good instructor is finding a way to communicate to each individual in a way that will work for them. Yeah, I didn't feel embarrassed whenever... I haven't yet felt embarrassed when somebody gave me a correction in class. It's like, that's why I'm there, is to learn how to do this and to learn how to do it better. They have a really good way of going about it. Comparatively, my trainer's super blunt, works very well with me, but certainly not everyone. I think it helps a lot that like it's in pursuit of a goal that you guys both know that you want. They're not no one's giving you blunt feedback to make themselves feel better. They're doing it to try to help you, which is very different from like if you're just living your life and someone's giving you feedback and they're really just, you know, criticizing you for the hell of it. You don't have to take both things in the same way. Like something can land very differently depending on who it's coming from and why. I had to do the barrel thing several times to complete it. I feel like I'm on like my 10th barrel. These guys are gonna run out of kegs. I hope there's not real beer in here. They're gonna have to switch to kombucha. Oh, we got 2 with that one. Let's go for this one. There we go. Listening to a podcast. The context was producer talking to the talent, and they said the talent would just shut down if the feedback was negative, but relish it if the feedback had even the slightest bit of encouragement. That is interesting. Yeah, I'm sure it depends on the individual.
What's going on?
A lot of really successful people, high-performing types, not all of them, but a lot of them are very tightly wound, and your brain has a way of taking a sentence and like pulling the scariest possible meaning out of it, which is a difficult thing to unlearn when you're used to doing it.
Warlord shows his face. Come, let's finish this.
Also, if it's like a creative position, that's a tricky thing, because if you've hired somebody to do their art for you, yes, you should be able to give them notes and to try to encourage them in pursuit of the thing that you're trying to create. But depending on how much you're hiring them to do like a thing that you picked them because you like the way they do it, some people won't like, you know, like they'll want their independence on deciding how to go about doing it. It's a complicated thing. Imposter Syndrome 101. I have a PhD in this. Not literally. As a tightly wound type A sommelier, that is 100% accurate AF. Blatant waste of quality Pandaren ale.
Hello.
Oh, man.
Goodbye.
These guys are all going to be on the non-alcoholic stuff. Or they're just going to be drinking apple juice for a little bit.
Some of my finest brew.
Oh, okay.
At least it went out in the
Oh,
blaze of
he gives you his
glory.
last mug. That's cute.
Wait. Where's Lynn?
I thought he was with you.
I used to be very, and I still am, but I used to be very much the hyper tightly wound, super neurotic, very try hard kind of person, to the point that if I felt like I wasn't succeeding even a tiny bit, I would just crumple up and be useless, which is not terribly effective or good for you. And it's something that I've taken a lot of time, and I'm gonna put a lot more time into trying to unwind and unlearn and find that line. Because you also, you know, I appreciate that sometimes those tendencies can push me to do better, which is great, but that's not the only way to get there. And
I have a plan.
you know, nervous breakdowns have never really helped me. You mugged them.
As a stranger to these lands, you
Off
may
topic,
not
but
be
how do you feel
familiar
about
with
Ruth's
the
clothing
shadow.
quality? Thinking of purchasing a few pieces from them. Everything looks so
Our
comfy, and they're
charge
Canadian,
is
which is a plus for me.
dating back to the
I'm
time
pretty
of
happy.
Shah,
It's not
our founder,
like,
the last
depending on the
emperor
piece that you
of
get,
Pandaren.
if you've had like super thick, super
Dark
plush,
energies
fuzzy
embrace
sweats,
the
it might not be
silence.
as
Anger,
plush and
hatred,
fuzzy as you're
fear,
imagining it,
doubt.
but I really like them.
These
Everything feels
negative
well built to me.
emotions can manifest in
It's kind of
physical
embarrassing,
form.
but I went to,
All
I've
this
been going out
dark
in like
energy
almost like a
Shah.
head to toe Roots
It
outfit,
is
because I
our
have a bunch
sacred
of the
duty to
joggers, and I have the
monitor
hoodie, and I have a
visit
few
the Shah,
t-shirts, and I have a
to be
hat,
treated wherever
and I
in
look like an
darkness
ad.
our
it's
people
ridiculous, but you know, if you like what you
Life.
like.
I have never seen the Shah so
I haven't had it for too long,
as
so we'll
when
see how
no
it holds up. But I used to get the stuff as a kid all the time, and it would last me until I outgrew it.
Pandaria does
I don't
not
know if they
have
sponsor
its
people, but if they did, I would
We,
be
the
top.
Shadowpan,
That would
are
be
its
top of my
first
begging list.
and only line of defense. Tyron Zu leads the Shadowpan as his father did before, but he has elected
It also
to
helps that I
close
went to
our
shop there in
monastery
the mall
gates.
once,
Why?
a couple weeks ago when I went shopping,
We
and
must find out.
I'm really
Without the
uncomfortable shopping in
Shadowpan,
person, but I know sometimes it's
Pandaria
important to
will
try things on to
surely
see how they
be
fit.
engulfed in
And usually I'm just like hating my life, counting the seconds until I can leave. Like I'm trying to get in and out as fast as possible. but there were 3 people working there at the mall, and they made me feel so comfortable, and they were so friendly, and not in a way that like freaked me out. Because I don't know if you've ever been like shopping where people were so friendly that you like want to hide. They were really cool and they were very helpful, and it worked on me. They got me. They sold me on it. Have you noticed the owl mount has scales on its chest? I hadn't. Checks out though. Aggressively friendly because they get commission. Yeah. Or just, I mean, some people are just naturally like bubbly, and you know, I can be bubbly. I get it, but sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's like, hey, how are you? And it's like, oh, I'm great. How are you? How friendly were you in sales? Decently friendly. I like to think I was fairly hands-off, because I wanted to help people in the way that I wanted to be helped, but we had to greet people. Plus I know it is nice to have somebody to check in with you. I know not everybody likes that, but it's kind of worse if you wanted somebody to check in with you and then everybody's just ignoring you. Nobody likes that. Or some people don't like that. Anyways, we had to greet people within X amount of time of them coming into our section. But what I would do is I would greet them and I would introduce myself and I would say, let me know if I can help you, or if you need anything, I'll be around. My name's so and so. And then I would like back off without them needing to tell me to back off. Or if they were like, great, I'm looking for blank, then I could you know, give them the works. But like I very much kind of left it up to customers, which is not a great way to drive a lot of sales, but it's a good way to get people to come back to you. It can be so stressful as the customer. Yeah, I've never liked, I mean, a lot of people don't like it, but I've never responded well to super aggressive sales tactics. I like spending money, but I want to do it on my own time. Best Buy employees ignore me and I have to search them out when I want something. Yeah, that's no good either. whenever you're like trying to find someone, because you literally need someone to help you get something, and they're just like on their phone behind a counter sitting down, it's like, oh, excuse me. I don't even mind if I have to go find somebody, but it's always a bit of a bummer when they look like they're like really over it and they don't even want to help, but they're like, fine. You don't get that attitude too much, and everybody has their own days, so you never know what's going on with people. But I always feel awkward shopping in the first place, and I'm always terrified of bothering me. So anytime anybody made it look like I actually did bother them by asking for help, that was always like my worst nightmare. Car salespeople are the worst at jumping on you. A really good car salesperson will kind of read who they're talking to adjust their approach to whoever it is. Because if you can do really well, people will refer their friends and like people they know to somebody that they felt like actually listened to them, because buying a car is such a big deal. And if you got yelled at into buying something that you kind of wish you hadn't later because they didn't take the time to get to know what you wanted, then you're not gonna tell your mom to go back there when she needs a car. It's a long game. If you played beta, how are you feeling about War Within?
We can agree.
How are you feeling about World War I? I have played a little bit of beta. I'm excited about War Within. I think it looks good. I think the raid in particular looks phenomenal. I'm very excited for it. I haven't done as much of the dungeons as I would have liked to, and that's my own fault. But the dungeons that I did see looked interesting.
Yes, but we value control.
I'm also not a good barometer for this kind of thing though, because I'm a fountain of joy. I am an endless well of optimism. I like everything. I'm easy. Did they update Delves? I don't know.
Beyond the anger lies hate.
I know they were talking about buffing Bran because he wasn't as effective as they wanted him to be. The last time I did Delves, it was in alpha, but he was having a hard time sticking with me in some of them. I guess I'm a fountain of joy.
See how the outsiders hate one another.
River of smiles or whatever.
Has indeed
You know.
proven mastery over anger. Between the young cubs'
Alright.
words,
So we got the Slummet in the Summit
I think
achievement.
I
Little
understand.
Oh,
bonus bronze cash and spool for that. That's kind of nice.
Beyond the
We have a half a bag of boxes. I think I'm pretty much out of stuff I can do for boxes. We kind of did the zone.
learned much.
I'm not even. I mean, I guess I'll run a prediction. We can see if maybe the book is in one of these things, but If I liked my points, I would vote no. Let's run a little baby one. Start a prediction. So for transparency, we have 17 caches. Or we'll only vote for 1 minute. It's just a little baby one. Well, we have 17 caches, and we're trying to get the Pandaren Tome Transmog out of them.
Thank you, Master White Tiger. You will see. I believe that my people and the Horde are essentially good.
Used to work at EB Games, hated every second of it. They were so pushy, couldn't do it.
I find your fate inspiring, little one.
It feels so nice to just sit. Although, my kitty cat's on my lap right here, and I need to sit up a little bit because as it stands, my abs are like mad. Okay. How are we doing? Oh man. Oh, people are putting a couple of points on winning. Most of them are on no. That's a safe bet. Not as much action as yesterday. It's not as exciting. We don't have as many boxes. Plus, we only opened voting for 60 seconds. All right, let's find out. Baby drum roll. Will it drop? We're watching the chat log. Well, I am. I'll let you know if it drops. Gloves. Hood. Thread. Shoulders. Belt. Belt. We got one weapon in that kit, and it was one that I already had. No luck. Points go to nope. Choose outcome. No. Not that time. However, there is still time. You can do the whole zone over again on your mage for it. I think at this point, I'm better off farming. I think that's where we're at. We could, just to keep it fresh, we could alternate between mob grinding and queuing for like an LFR wing. Probably Throne of Thunder LFR still, because if I recall correctly, on this list, there are lots of things I still need from Throne LFR. So I'm going to sit myself in that queue. Actually, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to take a short break. We might need a couple of these today. And when I come back, we'll sit ourselves in a short queue and we'll find some farming to see if we can hopefully manifest that tome to drop. BRB. Thank you for your patience. My puppy is so sleepy. He's so sleepy. Okay. You know, if you're walking by the dog, you have to pet the dog. Okay, let's get into queue for this one. And let's get back to our farm spot. And go see what we can do. So much Kira time today. Beautiful girl. Lovely kitty cat. Thank you for letting me sleep last night, kitty. I have been, with the exception of being nervous to like go to class, I have been sleeping like a dead person. I have been sleeping like I'm decomposing and the worms already have my organs. Like, I don't think I moved last night, which is great because I'm trying to sleep on my side or my back as opposed to my front. Because for a long time, my tradition was to curl up like a pill bug and like roll over to my front and go whoosh, and then I would wake up and I would be just in pain. But that was how I fell asleep, and I had a hard time falling asleep without it. But I've been so tired for the last couple of days that I just lay down and I'm like, oh, yep. Bed's good. Bed feels real good. Morning, Hazel. Good morning, Jabbers. How are you doing today? What is your approach to farming these transmogs? So for the zone ones, I started by clearing out all the quests, not because it was faster, but just because it felt like a lovely structured thing to do. A little bit of variety. And now that I've run out of quests, I found a farm spot and I'm farming. Works better the stronger your character is. But I'm just gonna see if I can grind him out now. In the meantime, to keep myself from getting too bored, I'm sitting in an LFR queue for some, so that I can maybe try for some of these LFR mogs that I need as well. But I find it's easier for me to stay motivated to farm these when I pick one in particular. Kitty, don't drink my tea! I don't think green tea can possibly be good for cats. You didn't get very much of it. Alright, don't judge me for drinking this still. Listen, there's a lot of animal cooties going around in this house. If that's the end of me, then that's what it's gonna be. Yeah. It's fine. I may be a little bit too close with my cat, but I was having that I ran a bath last night to try and make my muscles calm down before bed. And she used to report to every bath that I ever took, and she would sit by the tub and she would lick water off the rim of the tub, or like drink water off like my ankle if I like put it up for her. And she would meow at me and she would just always show up for bath time. And now that the apartment's divided into moose zone and Kira zone, the bathroom unfortunately falls on the moose side of the border. And recently she's been getting brave and she's been wanting to come out here, so we've been opening the gate to kind of let her out front with him whenever she wants. And she came through last night and stopped by and had her bath time tub water again, which sounds gross, but it was like really it was really sweet because she hasn't done that for basically since we got Moose a year ago. And I think she missed it. And Moosey was so good. He stayed laying down in his bed. He didn't bother her because I was a bit worried because she's cornered in the bathroom. So if he does come up behind her, she's going to feel a little bit trapped. But he was so good, especially because he also likes to do that. So eventually they're going to have to fight it out for who gets to post up there. But it was very nice. Yeah, Moose also likes it. They're similar in a lot of ways. They both like ice. They both like playing around with it as well as just like licking it until it's gone. They both like drinking water off of ankles and feet. They both like drinking from the tap. They both like drinking off the edge of the tub. You know, they both like long walks on the beach. Actually, I don't think Kitty does. Moosey likes long walks anywhere. Moosey's favorite thing is going anywhere new. Anytime that he gets to explore a new environment, he's all like, oh boy, oh man. Oh jeez, Moose is here. What's up with this? Who are you? Where are we going? Yeah! Like he's just at an 11 the entire time, and it's really cute. Mainly, I'm the main bath lover in the home. Although both of them are liable to lick water off his feet after a shower, and they're not discerning about whose feet they lick water off of. So many people who want to meet Moose. Maybe they like the taste of poached hazel. That's a good way of putting it. That's exactly what it was. It feels so nice to just sit and stream.
Stop them! The animus must not be disturbed. The power, it cannot be wielded this way.
That's
You
Friday.
tempt forces you do not understand.
I'm looking forward to the pre-patch. I want to do a cute little pre-patch summary video. Things coming in the next patch kind of thing like I used to do.
Yourselves
Streams cozy.
is unleashed.
Gaming cozy. Although I don't have any footage of the pre-patch event. I don't know if they're still testing it on beta or not. I should look into that. Otherwise I'll just have to share what we know. Little slideshow. I'm looking for pumpkin spice. It's coming soon. I just know it. Do you like to purchase the spice mix to add to things of your own at home? Or do you like buying pumpkin spice flavored things from establishments? Because if you're really hard up and you just want to mix it into like your own beverages and baked goods, you can probably like look up pumpkin pie spices and get your cinnamon and cloves and whatever together at home, regardless of the time of year. Pumpkin spice coffee. There you go. Pumpkin spice pup. My little Salsa, old cat, was obsessed with after shower hair. Be like, I just washed that kitty. I could, but that's cheating. That's fair. August. Yeah, it's like it's peak summer right now. I'm not ready for fall stuff yet.
Beware.
Starbucks started August 1st last year. That just feels like stores stocking Christmas stuff in July. I'm just not ready yet. Although nothing says that I have to buy it. I can wait till September. August is 2 weeks away. Don't tell me that. So ready for fall. I just started, oh well, I guess I'm not a big fan of like super high heat, but I just started summering. Although I guess I'm not doing anything in the summer that I can't do in the fall. I'll just have to wear more raincoats. So did I get anything that time? No. I did the wing. I got 3 pieces of loot plus a box. None of them were weapons, but that's all right. We'll get an extra piece of loot next time because of that cash. So we're at 63 of 119. That's not too bad. Can't hear you. It was like 2 summers ago, and I was out for a walk with my partner, and I was just really enjoying summer. You know, we were vibing. We'd been going fishing. I was just really into it. And then we were out for a walk, and I see a maple leaf detach from a tree and do its slow, dramatic drift down to the earth. And I looked at it, and I looked at him, and I went, oh no. Fall. Point at the leaf. Not ready yet. As it turned out, fall fishing was pretty fun too. Hazel, can you adopt me? Listen, I'm barely qualified to look after me. Get more rain in the winter, and I adore the rain. When pre-patch begins, will the bullion vendors go away? I do not know. Greetings. Like fall, but I'm just so in love with the lush green of summer. I do think fall might be easier on people and animals with allergies. I was speaking with someone who had a dog that had such severe allergies that they would not only have just like their eyes pouring goop during like the bad pollen days, but like they would get a rash, just all kinds of crazy stuff. And they were taking their dog to the vet to get like shots for it, and apparently that helped a lot. They were really happy with it. But I remember feeling so bad for the poor pup because like, oh, that's miserable, especially when your dog hide and your face is in the grass. Hot Nikki, bring on the fall with the crisp mornings and colors. Allergic to leaf mold? Autumn's rough. Oh no. I have a hard time staying... I have historically had a hard time staying warm enough when being sedentary in the colder seasons. I guess even in the summer season. It can be a heat wave day, and if I'm laying on the couch doing nothing, I'm still going to end up under a blanket because I'll just get cold. But I'm a big fan. I have lots of different like super thick, luxurious, fleecy jackets and hoodies and things to wear to help keep my heat when it's chilly out because I lose it real easy. Maybe this year will be different. Pre-patch day, old Dungeons and Raids are gonna be so busy. Instant servers just creaking.
Do not bury me again!
What do I like most about fall? I mean, I guess it's technically still summer, but fall has my birthday. My birthday's on September the 8th, and I'm gonna turn 32. And I want to do something. I still don't know what I want to do. I should figure that out so I can plan for it if I want to go anywhere, but... I know it'll be like pretty early in the new expansion, but maybe I'll take a couple of days off if I can justify it. That is true. How many cakes this year? Hopefully just one. And maybe like a small one that I can share with people. I've come to accept that I'm just not a big cake person. And whenever I eat it out of ceremony, it hurts me. And that's okay. I'll have like a tiny piece for the vibe of it, but I really shouldn't eat a whole piece of cake because it just doesn't feel good. It's not like a calorie thing. I can eat all day long, but like cake specifically is just not for me. Maybe I'll get a pastry. Birthday's a week before you and I'll be 48. What if pie? Maybe if I get something to share, or just like get something really small and nice. That sounds good. 32, thought he was younger. Nope, that's me. 31 right now. I'll be 32. Hopefully we keep going up. That's the goal with aging, is number go up. Hang on another year and you get another one. Share with chat. Nice. 40 this November. Congratulations. Only get a donut on my birthday? Ooh, that's not a bad idea. I would want a nice donut though. Sometimes I get a honey cruller from Timmy's. And those are pretty good, but if it's my birthday, I want a fancy one. Be 40 in October? High fives, another 70s baby. Introducing them to a new fancy French pastry every day. You're like the best host ever. You should. I feel like you need an award. Every time I hear about something you're doing with your friends that are visiting, I'm like, this woman needs a magazine feature for this. Holy smokes. Like the jelly-filled pastries. Pumpkin donut. Apple cider. I'll have to think about what I really want. Do something just for me. Feeding them is the easy part. Go to the bug zoo. Peanut butter filled donuts to be better than they are? I don't know if I've ever had a peanut butter filled donut. A little too sweet. One of those fancy espresso machines. Ho ho. Different coffee shop every day. Visit a part of the island more far off but gorgeous. That does sound nice. I just wonder if the stress of the admin of planning it and making sure all the animals are good and everyone's happy is worth the getting away part, but it probably is, especially if it's like a pretty conservative trip. I know my family wouldn't mind checking in on Miss Kira for a day or two. Pizza places, just smaller pies, get one pizza each. Oh. That sounds nice. Kitty cat's so sweet.
Your flesh, yes. So
But I shouldn't get too excited just yet. It's only July. I got another month and a little bit. In my mind, though, whenever someone asks my age or it comes up, I think 32 and then I round it back down because in my mind I'm turning 32 this year. In 2024 I'm 32, so it's 2024, therefore I'm 32, even though that's not how we do age here. You kind of need your birthday to pass before you get the extra number, but I've been rounding up. You know what fall time is perfect for? Gilmore Girls. Staying local, doing more exploring that way. I'm hoping that as I keep going into town, that I'm actually like learning the layout a little tiny bit of downtown so I can be less lost every time I go.
It is
Young whippersnappers. No, it's not a very big city. I just haven't spent very much time in the downtown core, and I get easily turned around and confused. It's pretty easy for me to be like, I'm definitely heading this way, and then I look at my map again and I'm like, nope, it's the other way. Oops. Round up, say 40. Hear people compliment how young you look. The real compliments hack is just round up your age. Round up your age, and people be like, wow, you look great. Navigate by landmarks for that reason. Think you will? Yeah. By that logic, I'm 50? That's a no. Nothing wrong with 50. My mom's making her 50s look really fun.
5,
She
4, 3.
they do lots of little trips. They find ways to make them affordable. And she has like a big network of people that she knows that she can kind of like visit and house sit for, so she'll sort of trade house sitting and cleaning services for like places to stay up and down the island, and they go on a lot of beautiful trips because of it. Imagine knowing people. I could never. One of the baby faces makes me look like I'm 18, so the shock and disbelief is amusing to me. Would you consider doing a trip like that with your mother? Oh yeah. Absolutely. Gonna be 40. Technically true, just don't say when it will happen. Well, I hope I'm gonna be 40. You never know. There's a lot of disasters that could happen between now and then. We're gonna do our best. I hope that I can make it to 40 and still be right here doing this. I would love to be doing this or something like this in another 8 years as well. If we've been doing it for the last 10, so it's possible. I think we can only get better. But I definitely don't think I'm going to be somebody that, you know, when I'm in my 50s, people are like, oh man, she still looks 22, because I wear sunscreen and I try to keep out of the sun as best as I can and wear hats and whatnot, but like I'm not doing any injections, or I'm not doing Botox. I'm not using super expensive skincare. I smile real big and I stress a lot and I don't always eat great. My skin's gonna age with me. I'm gonna look fine, but I'm gonna look my age, and that's okay. Another 8 years of not playing Subnautica. With your newfound confidence, you'll end up casting the MDIs in 8 years. How fun would it be to cast the MDI and know nothing about like the dungeons or the players or the strats and be like, wow, look at these people go. This mage is hopping around a lot. Looks like they got an extra dose of cereal. They've pulled another pack? That's crazy. Let's see how they handle it. As it turns out, just fine. I'm starting to think that was their plan all along. Reassuring noise. Yeah. I turned down a couple of, not that gig, but gigs that are along those lines earlier in my career because I didn't feel qualified to do it. And I felt like opening yourself up to the wider WoW community outside of your circle while being presented in a position of vague authority on something that you're not confident in was a great way to get bullied. And as a pretty sensitive person, I was like, you know what? I don't need that energy right now. All the respect and power to people that do it, but I'm an over-preparer, so I don't really want to be doing something like that if I can help it, unless I really feel like I have something to say. A lot of the time, I don't got anything to say, and here, that's fine, because it's my stream. As long as I'm here, that's the main thing. You know, I turned it on. Good job, you did it. But, I don't know. Color casting just pushing the hype. The analysis is the other person. I also don't think I have enough hype to be color casting, though. Or if I did, it would sound like I'm doing it facetiously. Holy smokes, they've pressed Bloodlust. What's going to die next? That caster's gonna be sore tomorrow. Yeah. Twitter account called Awful Announcing plays clips of what professional color casters actually say, and it's kind of funny. It sounds like a lot of pressure because you're doing it all live. I'm many things, but I'm not really a comedian. Do you think it's fine to queue as a healer as a DPS and LFR for 476? Yeah. I wouldn't feel bad about that in the slightest. I'm sure your Life Storm is basically providing as much healing as any healer in there anyway. Yeah, exactly. Healer there to make the queue pop. Let's look up a definition of color casting so that I'm not just guessing. And make sure we get the right context, because I think that there's probably a few things that means. Not that. A color commentator is a sports commentator who assists the main, bracket play-by-play commentator, typically by filling in when the play is not in progress. Person may also be referred to as a summarizer or an analyst. Alright, in sports apparently it's a more educated position where they provide analysis on statistics, strategy, injury reports, occasionally anecdotes, and light humor. I think in esports, certainly those things are welcome, but it feels like in esports maybe it's a little bit more about the energy and the summarizing to try to like maybe provide a storyline that the audience can follow, and not so much about the super technical stuff. But I haven't watched a whole lot of esports recently. When are we gonna get Panda Heritage armor? That's a great question. Why the athlete was gone for half a season, that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Come speak with me.
Nordic says hi. Tell him I said hi. Have a great day. I used to watch a lot of League of Legends esports, but fell out of it once Unicorns of Love were no longer part of it. Alright, raise your hand if you've ever stanned an esports team just because they had an excellent name. Wasn't there an Overwatch team? Or no, it was a WoW Arena team. I don't remember the details of exactly what their name was, but it was something along the lines of the power of friendship, or I don't know, here for fun, just for fun, something like that. It was, I think, a team from China, and they were so fun to watch, and it was just really refreshing to have such a unassuming, cute team name that I was rooting hard for him. Frog safety team. I pick sports teams to cheer for exclusively based on the team name because I have no other data on which to go. There was a Korean team sponsored by a restaurant called BBQ Oliver's. That's excellent. I really hope they had a mascot. And I hope it was just a rack of ribs. Kind of stand the Savannah Bananas. How we doing? Down to three items, mainly because we got that fan earlier in the zone. College League baseball team. The mascot was a big fat chicken. Nice. There's some pretty terrifying sports mascots. I feel like on average, they tend to lean to be more spooky and frightening than they do to be cute and appealing. They also, maybe it's because all the costumes look like they were made in the 80s and they haven't been washed since. Isn't Flabby an esports team by themselves? Flabby's like, he's esports adjacent, but he doesn't actually compete. He's the guy that people will sometimes call to like train with or to do practice games with and stuff. But as far as I know, he doesn't go over tournaments. I lied, it was a chicken in a metal helmet. The fat chicken was a fan thing. Oh. Well, of course, you know, safety equipment, very important. Stage costumes, they get heavily doused in isopropyl alcohol instead of washing. Oh, interesting. I always imagined that they were smelly, but maybe that's just because I've... like the high school ones that I remember, nobody would really bother to take care of them. How do we find a Flabby? Listen, if I figure out that it can be replicated, I'll let you guys know. It's the luckiest thing I ever did in my life. There was a John Oliver piece for last week tonight about Chuck E. Cheese and the history of it that was just like super fascinating. Even as somebody that has never been and didn't know much about Chuck E. Cheese, the whole story was just so interesting. That was a good YouTube video. How did you find Flabby? I met Flabby in 2015. Almost 10 years ago now, and it was I met him in a Twitch chat room. I don't think it was mine. I think it was a friend, like a mutual friend. It was either Ben or Chase, and we were all kind of like arena players that would play together, and a couple of us streamed, and they had played with him before, and I was a healer, and I got we added to Skype at the time, and started queuing together. So random, now I'm intrigued. Dude, that's so awesome. I think it's pretty cool to hang on to an online friend that long. The internet's so cool.
My wrath flows freely.
I think I kept playing Arena a lot longer than I maybe wanted to because I really liked the friends that I met. And for a long time, I would hang out with like Ben and Chase and Flabby and Rostam and whatnot. I would hang out with them when queuing, but we wouldn't do anything else outside of the game. So, or outside of Arena specifically. So if you weren't doing that, you wouldn't really get to see them. So I feel like I liked hanging out with my friends so much, and eventually Silver Kitty, and I liked them so much that I kept playing a lot longer because it was nice to have that group to belong to. Made so many via the internet that became good RL friends. Have you met Flabby IRL? Yeah! Him and Silver Kitty both came to visit me in Oregon a couple years ago before I moved up. SK was the only one that went on camera, but they were both there. Online friends I've never met in real life. Met in IRC chat rooms in the 90s. Still friends to this day. Remember that news video filmed outside? That was such a fun day. Growing up, I used to watch groups of creators that were friends with each other that would just go places and film together, and they looked like they were having so much fun. And I eventually got into content creating, but it was always just kind of me in my room by myself doing it, and I never really got a chance to, I don't know, go outside and make something with other people. And it was really cool to just kind of go do it outdoors. Where is my book? One, please. I've had internet friends become housemates and neighbors. Wild thing about going to PreachCon a couple years ago is I figured it to be a bucket list item checked off the list. Never expected to make friends from it, but complete opposite occurred. The world is amazing. Full of wonder. That was a big trip too, right? That was Europe. I feel like I saw some Squirrel Squad meetup pictures from that. Internet friend became a partner 15 years now. Wow. England. Do you think we need a different transmog? I know that Smelly Shellfish looks lovely as a blood hunter, and it's nice for summer, and he's feeling breezy. But I wonder if I need something different for luck. Come to a SquirrelCon meetup in Victoria. I am not brave enough to host something like that. If I'm lucky, I'll go to BlizzCon again in my lifetime. Well, if I'm lucky and if I can justify the funds and the planning. Can always use a new mug. Okay, after this Throne of Thunder, we'll find a set to put on that makes us feel lucky. Maybe we'll put together, you know what we need to do? And it doesn't really matter because I've got a staff mog right now, but we put together a set that's red. I guess I'm wearing red right now, but that's red that would match the Pandaren tome. That's the trick. That's what we gotta do. Interested in going to BlizzCon one day just for the social aspect. Ever do community raids again if you didn't have to organize them? I don't know if I would ever commit to a regular schedule because I'm just so flaky, and I would feel so awful if I promised to go to something and then I flaked on it. But I feel like I would be liable to flake, so I'd rather just not commit to it in the first place. If they were, like, flexible, I would drop in, maybe, if it wasn't a problem for me to just, like, squeeze in without pre-planning it. But I don't, I'm not able to commit to something. Makes no. Love how you plan around what you want to get in game. Unlike me, who just wanders around hoping to get things. Listen, that is a time-honored tradition. There's nothing wrong with that. Plus, that way, you never know what you're gonna... Well, sometimes you do, but you never know what you're gonna get. And you're probably getting more things in total. Liable to flake sounds like the tagline of my life. In an effort for myself to put a positive spin on anything, liable to flake, croissant. Who doesn't love good croissant? when I thought croissant, I used to think like the crescent-shaped thing, and I think that is. But when I buy them from the bakery here, from the patisserie, it looks like a completely different kind of pastry. Might get he was liable to flake on my gravestone. Hi, Shiro. That's a cute emote. Ones you get have chocolate in them. I like the fruit ones. My partner likes the chocolate ones. I don't know why, but I don't want chocolate on pastry or bread. I want chocolate in chocolate. And I want chocolate on ice cream if I'm having that. But like, if it's like a pastry or a donut, I want fruit. I do not want chocolate. Googling Victoria BC croissants. Patisserie Daniel is the place to go. There's a couple good ones. There's also a nice little pastry shop called Good Side that does nice ones, but my Patisserie Daniel is my favorite bakery in the whole city. They're on Cook Street. They're phenomenal. And their almond croissant. Nuts are another good flavor to go with pastry. Are so delicious. Fig filling in pastries, it's so good. Looking this up, I must know. I don't know if I know they have pictures of some of their cakes online. I would get like a chocolate hazelnut flavored cake for birthdays sometimes. But yeah, if you go to Victoria, you must go to that place. It has you written all over it. It's a tiny little place, but I haven't ever had anything that missed from there. Everything's been so good. Google Maps is a haven for photos. Yeah, Patisserie Daniel.
It is unleashed.
Went to Lincoln City where I got married, and the pastry place that made our wedding cake was still there. Looks like it'll be coming that way in March. That's a good season to come. It's beautiful in the spring. It's beautiful all the time, but it's beautiful in the spring. Heard the voice acting echo? Turns out we're on the same group. We restarted the community since you can mod them a bit now. Still capped like guilds though. Yeah, as long as you guys are up for it. This kitty cat is like snoozing. She's like a puddle of cat on my lap right now. Got the last mog from my hunter. I am done with it. Nice. What do you do until pre-patch?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Now to hate myself and try
1.
warrior. Ah, that's what you do. Good luck. Will I do any respectable amount of damage in here just by virtue of pressing Lifestorm? No, not really. Oh well. Nope. Not quite. I believe though. Are any of the things that I'm looking for from Throne LFR pretty? They must be, right? There's a sphere and another color of it, both blue. There's the knife with the feathers and the face on it. A couple of these big juice containers. Big ol' smashy. And then 2 colors of the eyeball dagger. Yeah, I think that's all worth it. I'm surely not going to get all of it, but we can do our best. Get as much as we reasonably can. Six in damage. Yeah, I wanted to do a mill though, but I got holy locked in and I didn't end up actually casting any spells. I wonder if I didn't manage to proc my other gems. I'll try the next one. Warrior is a project. Yeah, I bet. And even if you only need a couple of things, it sounds awful because your loot pool is so diluted because of how many things you can get. I think that's something that people forget about when they're like, oh, just do it on a warrior. They can get all sorts of weapons. Is that, one, weapons that you can equip is not necessarily weapons that can drop for you. So there may need to be some creative trading to get most of them And then some things, of course, must drop for you. But then secondly, if you are, like, you're doing LFR and you want a specific thing to get, if you have a bunch of different weapon types that could all drop, you're still getting the same amount of loot, and you've got a much bigger pool. It's harder. One of the Arcing Lightnings has a unique source ID, so it looks like it's unique, but it is identical to another Mog. Oh. That's good to know. You'd become the nicest beggar in Normal Plus as a warrior. A lot of whispers. You gotta come up with a cute little custom whisper to put into the trove tallies so that you can stand out from the crowd of beggars. Although I get, I mean, I haven't done normal in a few days, but when I was doing normal, I get surprisingly few people asking me for weapons. Like, I would have a staff drop, and I didn't need it, and I'd be like, I wonder if anyone's going to ask for it, because I'd be ready to give it away. I would put it to a special spot in my bag and everything, and the whole run would come and go, and nobody would ask for it. So the lesson is, if you need it, ask. You know, ask nicely, but, like, really, really no harm in asking. The worst thing that somebody can say is no. Your Mog is cute. Can I have weapon, please? Yeah, there you go. Making a gnome warrior so you look cute and it's harder to say no. Yet to receive a trove tally whispers, but have had 0 no's and only a couple of ghosts. Yeah, it's scary if you're shy like us, but it goes all right. Default message gamer so far, no one seemed put off by it. Human warrior named Bimmy. I guess I just like seeing custom messages. They're not necessary, but they're fun. I think it's funny when I get a whisper that I recognize as the default trove tally one. I think I'm spoiled in that I want something a little different. I want to feel like someone really wants it and they didn't just click the easy button. The blank weapon is cursed. Can you give it to me for safekeeping? What if you went the opposite direction and you like tried to insult them into giving it to you, being like, honey, that insert weapon here is so not your color. You better hand it over. Let me take that for you. I got you, babe. I was walking a little bit ago and there was a basket of various assorted yarns of different colors that somebody was, I guess, giving away, which is all cute and well and good. Except that it had a little label on it for transparency, which is great, that said, infested. This whole basket is infested. Terrifying. I don't know with what, but we walked real wide around that one. Holy smokes. I was gonna say, that's so cute. It's nice that they're disclosing it. But I don't know. I wonder if they wouldn't have been better off just bagging that up and putting it in the trash or like trying to compost it or something. I don't know. What's somebody gonna do? Like take it and fumigate it? Love my infested roadside goods. If it doesn't come with free pets, is it really worth it? Yeah. Bed bugs are probably a good bet. We walked by a real estate listing, like a house that was listed for sale. And it happened to be on a recycling day. And in the recycling, there was an empty box that they had set out that said mold control. It's good that they're controlling it. Don't know if I would buy that one. I couldn't afford to if I wanted to. But also, maybe it's okay that I can't afford that one. Bed bugs are the absolute worst. Doesn't sound like fun. One of the most awful things I had to deal with as an adult. It was my first apartment. Do not recommend. Oh. Yeah. I can't imagine. I thought I had bed bugs, and I didn't. But just thinking I did stressed me out so much that I was losing sleep for like 2 weeks. As it turns out, it was stress. I had a stress rash. But it made me, in the process of it, it made me learn how to check a hotel room for them and got me real good at cleaning. Also not good though. Yeah, it was just a difficult transition time. I think.
Beware.
All right, so I'm gonna not get trapped by the interrupting jolt, and then I'm gonna. Oh, it's over. I had such big plans to do big damage, to at least get my lifestorm damage off. No, not really. Oh well. Sleeping like the dead, which is great. It's so great. It helps that it's been getting cool outside at night too, so I can like get the fan to blow some cool air in and get the bedroom kind of nice and chilly. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I think that might be Shaw of Anger. Sounds a little bit upset. We had a break from the heat wave too, thank goodness. Yeah, it's cooled down again now. I wore a sweater out this morning, and I could have even worn a jacket. I could have worn a coat. Cut through the humidity with a knife. Oh. Nothing worse than swampy. Poor friends from the West Coast, not used to it. Man. The one day that I spent, actually I spent a couple days, but I spent a couple days in Toronto in the summer, years and years and years ago. And it, like, we get there and we get off the plane and it was like 40 Celsius and damp humid. And I'm looking around like, is this normal? This is disgusting. And everybody's just going about their business, you know, looking all cute in their Toronto fashion. And I'm just like, I'm wet. I'm dripping. This is gross. Can chew the air. The way we managed it was a conference. So as it turns out, you basically just live inside the air-conditioned space. You don't really go outside unless it's at night. Nobody went outside during the day, but like getting off the plane, it was just like, this is unreal. I can't believe this many people live like this. Whole of the East Coast in the summer is a reminder that most of it was built on swamp. Sounds like how Chicago was when I was there for work. The lakes make it miserable. Yeah, I was pretty happy to get home to Victoria. It was a cool city to visit, though. I'm glad I've been there once. We did the little touristy thing at the CN Tower with the glass floor. That was cool. I'm glad I saw it. The thing that surprised me the most about Toronto, coming from kind of a small town girly, was flying in, just how much of it you had to fly over before you even made it to the airport. I was looking out the window on the airplane and I saw that it was like city, or at least what I thought was city. I'm like, oh neat, we're almost there. Nope. You gotta keep flying in that plane for a while. There is a lot of it. It's so much city. Or at least it was to me. Oh, War Scout time. Sprawl, yeah. I couldn't believe how far we had to go before we actually like made it to where we were going. Any luck? Nope, another helmet. Hour from Toronto, and I never go unless I have absolutely no choice. That's what I thought flying into LAX. every time I've been to California, I flew into the other airport. I've actually managed to never in my life go to LAX, and if I'm lucky, I'll never have to. I've never heard a good thing about the experience. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's not as bad as it like sounds, but there's a smaller airport that's nearby that I always manage to find flights to instead, and I like that a great deal. I forget what it was. John Wayne, maybe? LAX just chaotic AF. Airports take like a special kind of person to navigate confidently. And it's tough because they're there to move like all kinds of different people, and a lot of them through every day. And some of them are a lot better at it than others. Burbank, probably? That sounds right. Subway bus system in Boston, about to get contactless payment in August. Oh, nice. Burbank Airport in LA is where it's at. John Wayne, KSNA? Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah, because whenever I was going, I was either going to Irvine for Blizz HQ or I was going to Anaheim for BlizzCon. And I was able to Uber from both of those places from there. Took a minute, but... Although, I've never had crazier Uber drivers in my life than I have had in California. Although, you know, better them driving than me. I think that was also yeah, it was, I don't remember which BlizzCon it was, but one of the BlizzCons was actually when I got into the wrong Uber. It was, ever since then, I will never get into one without checking the license plate, but I was young and confused and naive, and an Uber pulled up and I was waiting for an Uber and I was like, hi, and they're like, hi, and I got in and we're going and they're like, so-and-so's name? And I'm like, nope. And both of us were panicking because they had left their rider and were like really afraid of getting a terrible review, and I of course had missed my Uber and was in a strange car heading the wrong direction, and we compromised, and they just kind of like, he took me kind of sort of close to where I was going, or like a little farther along, and then just kind of let me out in the sidewalk so he could go back and pick up the person, and then I had to cancel the one that had been waiting for me. And that's why you always double check the license plate, kids. This is why I'm scared of doing new things, is because sometimes it goes wrong. Because, like, they also will tell you, oh, it's a, you know, a blank colored, you know, brand name car model, but I don't really know cars instinctively. And at the time I knew even less about them. So if they were like, it's a Hyundai, you know, Opera. I made that up, but like I would have no idea. Be like, yep, 4 wheels, looks good. Really bad with car brands. Yeah. Hello. Hi, Scarlett. 4 wheels is excessive. Are front plates not normal? I don't think I've ever seen a car. I mean, I'm sure I've seen one without a front plate, but where I have lived in my life, it has always been very normal for cars to have front and back plates. They're not required here. Interesting. Car only needs 3 wheels like Mr. Bean. Weird. Connecticut, they're required. X got grief when he moved here from DE because he didn't have front plates. Trip to Alberta? They didn't have front plates there. Oh yeah, how's Baldur's Gate 3 going for you? You having fun? Making friends? Having any success? I found it a lot harder than I expected it to be. Playing through just on like, or trying to play it on just normal difficulty. What is your main? A gnome holy priest. I'm gonna try to play holy and shadow in the War Within, but I'm a gnome priest. Spent 20 minutes killing each other in the first camp. Phenomenal. Perfect. No notes. Wouldn't change a thing. Killed Shadowheart and Lae'zel. Alright, Shadowheart can go, but Lae'zel's my girl. And not just because her name sounds like mine. Where is my book? Does one of you have it? No. Alright. How's my speed? I think we could probably take another speed gem off. I wonder if I look at my damage breakdown. Holy Nova is a lot of it. Searing Light is some of it. Mastery will kind of improve the Searing Light damage from that. Probably more about crit. Do I have any extra crit gems? Yeah, I've got lots of them. Same thing with haste. How's my crit looking? Yeah, that's good. Fear of Code, thank you very much for the 3-month resub. Appreciate it. 431 already? Yeah, I got a couple upgrades today. Also, I've got more bronze to spend. We've accumulated another 14k since we left, just from quest boxes and LFR wings and stuff. And I guess farming from the mobs. Take my Prime sub, please. I take it everywhere, but it comes back every month. Thank you very much. Theme song from House of the Dragon I would recommend you. Hazel. Oh yeah? That brought back memories of the regular Game of Thrones theme. That thing lived in my brain from like 2010 until whenever that ended. Reminds me, due to throw some extra support. Fate of the Kingdoms? It's very you. We probably have enough crit now. What's my Versa at? Could use more Versa. Oh, Day. With the 24-month resub. Happy 2 years. Were you when you played Shadow for years?
Hello.
Hey, listen, Shadow Priest Hazel is making a comeback. I'm going to be about this tall, and I'm just going to be spitting void bolts and tentacles. It'll be great. People won't know what side I'm on. So excited for the new WoW music. Been more than 2 years. Skip out. Said a lot to give elsewhere. Totally understandable. You guys have my book? No. Who has it? Who's got it? It's you guys, isn't it? No. The only thing is if it doesn't drop here, every day that we do upgrades, eventually it's going to be faster to farm. I'm kind of tempted to actually go, I think I'm going to go spend some bronze to upgrade my gear a little farther. Because we're not really one-shotting this stuff yet, and it will be faster if we can start one-shotting. We're 2 or 3 Holy Novas per pack, and that's just not acceptable. I used to call my Hazel sub the House and Puppy Fund, and hey, we're halfway there. I won't sing the song. I won't do it. Oh. Alright. How many vouchers we got? We got a few Nostrums vouchers? A couple. Not too many. Am I the only one that doesn't hate the new loading screen? I like it. I like it a lot. I think I like it more than I've liked the last couple of them. Although I don't really remember what the BFA loading screen was. Here's the upgrader.
I'll trust you for now.
Pull the weapon up to 500. There we go. $434.
Trust yourself.
I could get like another couple thousand by just scrapping a bunch of gems, but I don't know. I think it's alright. I expect my sub/YouTube etc. money to go towards funding Hazel's cheese habit. Yo, true. I love the framing. Hi, I'm Hazel, and I have a cheese habit. BFA one with a picture of the Battle of Lordaeron front gate. Yeah, with like a waving flag or something. The Wrath one scarred me forever. I would leave my computer on in Wrath of the Lich King, camping Time Lost Predator Rake. And then I would take a nap. And my computer was in the same room as my bed at the time. And I would turn my speakers up so that my rare scanner would alert me if it popped. Like I would be reading a book or napping and I would wait for the rare scanner. This never worked, by the way. I didn't get Time Lost until like years later. But eventually I would get logged out and I would get booted to loading screen. And then that big ol' ice dragon would swoop by and roar and scare the daylights out of me. And probably my poor mother. What is a cheese habit? I put cheese on sandwiches and stuff. And I put it on pasta. And I put it in casseroles. And sometimes I just eat slices of it on the side of stuff. I'm not really a meat person, so I'm not. My charcuterie board would just be cheese. Didn't know we were racing, but I just won. You got it. Is cheese your meat? No. I don't eat enough of it for it to count. You put cheese on everything. Cheesy omelets, just saying. I think eggs might be my meat. I eat a fair amount of eggs. I'd say lentils and beans and chickpeas because that's the healthy answer. And I do eat those things, but I don't eat as much of them as as I should, I suppose. Quest reward cash in my case. Oh, lucky, lucky, lucky. My tome will come. I believe. Found out there's a food in London that has scarred me for life. Oh, I thought that was the end of the story. In London, there is a food. What is it? I saw a recipe for scrambled eggs where you add cheese to the eggs while cooking rather than on top at the end. Yeah, is that not normal? That's how I used to make scrambled eggs growing up. I would just mix up grated cheese, eggs, salt, pepper, a little green onion. And just, I wouldn't even put like milk or anything in it. I would just do straight eggs and cheese, like a lot of it. And I would cook them like that. I haven't done it in a long time. I kind of fell off scrambled eggs, but that's what I used to make for myself as a snack as a teenager. Jellied eels. Jellied eels are a... Oh, I thought you said they were a vibe. I guess Vile is a vibe. Yeah, after I got used to making them without milk, whenever I tried making them with milk, I didn't like it. Yeah, we're talking about food again. It's 11:15. I'm minorly hungry. I can make it. I got upgraded to 2 eggs this morning, up from 1. Speaking of food, what are you having for dinner? It's Friday, which means, I don't know, we'll find out. Oh, I love when English-speaking people say Gouda. We, at least in my family, we like making the very obvious and extremely cringe joke of Gouda being good. Should do tacos just because we're going out for tacos tonight. Oh. I think we have. Did I buy tortillas? I bought groceries, but I gotta remember what I got. Gouda. Can you put cheese in tacos? Oh, you can put cheese in tacos. It's true. You can put cheese in a lot of things if you put your heart on. If you set your mind to it and you put your heart on it and you believe in yourself and you don't let the haters get you down. All kinds of stuff you can add cheese to. Alright, we're good. Thoughts on my question about the charcuterie board with canned fish? I missed it. Let me see. Scrolling. Would you do it with canned fish? No. No. Not for me. I eat canned fish in my diet, but mainly just because it's cheap. And I'm usually adding a bunch of stuff to it. I don't usually eat it directly. Not as much of a thing here. Who yaps the most in chat? Is it not me? I'm yapping constantly. I don't think it's you. I think there's lots of us having a nice time here. Very few dishes I've seen that aren't improved by cheese. I was trying to come up with the counterpoint as I was saying that you could put cheese in lots of things. I was trying to automatically think of the devil's advocate. And the answer that I came up with was ice cream. But I'm sure someone somewhere serves cheesy ice cream. I just don't want it. Cheese is, like, I like cheese at room temperature, but most cheeses to me are improved by being melted. So, the idea of freezing it and then eating it frozen sounds like the worst version of the cheese.
What do you need?
Here it's very popular. Place in Calgary that sells a seasonal flavor in the fall, apple pie and cheddar ice cream. I've heard of that. I've heard of people putting cheddar in and around apple pie. It's a thing. And all I'm going to say is that nobody asked me. Nobody checked with me if they could do that. And it's probably best for their artistic freedom that they don't, because I don't think I would have approved it. Yeah, it is a thing. Parmesan ice cream. I had no idea it was a thing until I moved to Calgary. Didn't think it would be. It's like Pepsi and milk. You can unsay that this instant. Calgary is Canada. Calgary is a city in Alberta, so it's the province that is directly east of me. It's the city known for the Stampede. And in kind of like a plainsy area of Canada, I think. I've never been. I've never been to Calgary. North of the state of Montana. Yeah. You don't like pilk. I don't even like the look of the word. Although, I'm sure it's not very fair of me, because growing up, I used to drink floats, which was you would take pop, or soda, and you would take like vanilla ice cream. You would put a few scoops of vanilla ice cream into a big mug, and then you would pour your pop of choice on top of it, and sometimes that would be a cola. So if I'm fine with ice cream melting in it, then I don't know why I'm drawing the line at milk. That doesn't seem reasonable. But I am. Tastes like a float. The thing that grosses me out most is people dipping fries in milkshakes. Unacceptable. We found the thing. You're not gonna like it. I love doing that. That's like my favorite. I mean, I haven't done it in a long time, but that was my favorite, like, indulgent drunk snack. Dipping fries in a Frosty's best. Unsubbed. Listen, there's a line for everybody, and we just found ours. Oh, all right, there you go, kitty cat. I haven't gotten a milkshake in a while. I had a lassie. That was yummy. Sometimes if I'm going all out and getting Indian food, I'll order a mango lassi along with it, which is delicious. But it usually scratches my milkshake itch. I like to dip. Preferred the fries. Don't do it, but can understand why people do. Sweet and salty combo. I remember when I was like a young teenager, my grandmother had just like, I don't know if she just discovered it or she was just telling us about it, but the appeal of sweet fruit with like salty potato chips. She would serve them together, not in like a bowl, but like on a plate, and was just tickled pink by the contrast. It was very tasty, but it was just funny because it was like Nana's onto something. Canadians put vinegar in their fries. I love doing that. Salt and actual vinegar. You can take a bottle and you can shake it on top, or the way that my grandparents would serve it is you would have a little dish of white vinegar and you would dip your fries in vinegar. I haven't done it in a long time, and I'm sure it would make my mouth fracture at this point in my life, but I used to love doing that. Yeah, you get a little, you can do white vinegar, you can do malt vinegar. They're both good. Oh. It's like a salt and vinegar chip, but better. Yeah, this is me. We need a new topic. I'm hungry now. He's so hungry. Mm, 22 minutes. I'm gonna take another quick break while we're in queue here. I might miss it. We'll see. One sec. Oh man, I am walking around like a plastic figure of a T-Rex, where you're going wha 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 wha. Oh man, you guys. Oh no more food, no more food. Don't tell me about the stroopwafel ice cream. No. We're thinking about transmogs. You're right. Pandaren tomes. What do you think it says? So fish. I want to go fishing this weekend. I really hope that I've got the energy for it. I'm a bit worried that I've been going too hard and I'm going to be kind of burned out and just need to veg. But I want to go. I'm so spoiled. I want to go fishing. I want to see birds and fishies. And the little duckies. Dream the way you're all good. Go fishing then. I think I will. My partner got a new fishing rod setup that he's really excited to try out. He's got like an ultralight kit now, and he's like super excited to go with it. So we might try to do something freshwater. Another dead shaw. Yeah. I think if I actually want to tag it, I'm gonna have to camp it. It's just not meant to be. Oh, we have 68,000 threads though. That's not bad. Fancy carbon reel. That's a good question. I don't know what it's made of. I spun the handle to try it out and it was very smooth. It went. That was kind of fun. Be sure to not go fishing in a lightning storm. Listen, I'm a huge baby. I don't even go fishing when it's raining. I don't want to get cold. I don't care if the fish bite more. If Hazel's not happy, then nobody's happy. Oh. Like, yeah, I'm there to catch fish, but I'm mainly there to spend a nice day outside. Warm rain would be fine. I have waterproof layers, but cold rain, especially when the rocks get really slippery that you're trying to balance on to shore fish, because I don't have a boat. We're fishing off the shore. No fun at all. Maybe you'll get another cutthroat trout. I don't think I'm fishing in the... I think I'd have to go back. I'd have to go back to a different lake. I'd have to go a little farther away for that. I don't think we have cutties in the lakes that I like to go to. Or if there are, I haven't caught any of them. I would be happy with a couple more rainbow trout. What did I do with it? I did a maple soy glaze. I pan fried it and I made a maple soy glaze to serve on top of it, and it was yummy. No more food. No more food. I tricked myself. Panda land. Yeah. I'm collecting my weapon transmogs, or I'm trying to. It's only going okay. Moonkin on the surfboard mounts looks ridiculous. I bet it does. The trading post one? Got almost all the bronze related mounts, most of the heritage armors I'm like. Nice. Remix has been so lovely. I've enjoyed it so much. It's been such a beautiful little vacation. I've really enjoyed spending all this time in Pandaria. Oh yeah, I was gonna come up with a new transmog, that's right. Although my queue is like gonna pop any second, but what kind of a transmog? So I wanted a set. I wanted to wear something that made me feel good. That also I thought might go with the book. I mean, the set that I have would go with the book, but let's think Pandaren. Let's think red. Let's think understated, because the book is understated. That's Warlords. Well, it's kind of cute. Looks a bit Pandaren. So what does this look like without the hat? Excuse me, can I see this one without the helmet, please? Thank you. Oh, yeah, that might be it. Quiet reflection. So we... Yeah. Yeah, that's nice, because it's like a world set. There's also the monastery clothing if I wanted to put him in pants, but I do like the robe. And then we go super understated. We clean up all the extra little bits here. We want to get into the Pandaren staves. And then find a nice basic one that feels like it goes with all of this. Maybe one of these guys. That looks nice. It kind of matches with the brown in his robe. Simple shellfish. That's what we'll call that one. Doesn't need shoes. He's a troll. What's the point?
Farewell, friend of the grumble.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. It's like a very simple robe, and of course, you know, like he's sort of hunching over all his buttons, but I like having the I like the way it kind of shows off this simple staff with the rings on it. Can't see it behind the screenshot. Oh no. I have not got the book. No, I was changing my transmog to see if I could manifest it a little bit more. Justice for troll chiropractic. Oh, you gotta take care of your back. Bend and stretch.
Speak up.
Alright, you guys have my book. No, but I got an epic helmet. I guess I'm already wearing an epic helmet. I wonder what this is like for bronze per hour. I haven't been running my thing to check, but I'm also a pretty horrific world farmer in that I don't have a natural eye to seek out the big packs. I have a tendency to get distracted by like one random mob that's by itself. Do you still have a use for bronze? This character's gear is not fully upgraded, so he still has some more overhead for power upgrades. I no longer need bronze for vendors, though. I have everything that I could possibly get from the vendors. Maybe multi-dotting is the move. It's not bad. You guys making plans for another summer weekend? Hopefully more reasonable weather for some of you. I know when the weather gets really hot, my plan just becomes hide from the heat, but it's nice when it calms down enough that you can actually like get out and do some stuff. Because it's not my weekend yet, but when it is, I want to go fishing. Although I wonder how my body's going to react to hiking. Go to Bridgeport for some music. Oh. Much gallivanting around the city with my friends. Want to show them many more things. Euro Cup finalist Sunday. How are they doing? Or have they not battled each other yet? Lots of fun. Working in these new art endeavors. Finding all the snazzy vaporwave. Fun, fun. Did you ever farm for Breezebiter? Currently farming it myself. And let's say I hope it's over soon. I haven't. You're braver than me. I've sat that one out so far. I'm going to have to go back and do it at some point because it's a neat mount that I do want. I got pretty stuck on a bunch of the Dragonflight rare drop mounts. Karakta was a bottleneck for me. I mean, I know that Karakta came out after Breezebiter, but I kind of figured I would loop back to Breezebiter after Karakta, and I got a bunch of characters up to Karakta. And I just got really frustrated farming it because I wasn't even great at consistently figuring out when it was up, especially once they made the change that the rares weren't just like passively up all the time on dead shards. And they said they were going to adjust drop rates to compensate. Maybe they did, but I don't know. It didn't work yet for me. Yeah, no, Soundless is an intentional skip. If you see me camping Soundless, it's because I've got everything else. Man, I got an Amber Weaver staff, but I don't need that one. Also, how you doing, Jeff? Happy I got all the Dragon Mount cosmetics I wanted, especially the corn cob tail. Spain is very strong. England has never won the cup. Things that I did not know before I backed England. Do you think that if England wins, that the city of London would just like vibrate to the ground? Like they'd be so excited and so loud that windows would just like shatter from the volume of it all? Breezebiter can breeze bite me. Listen, if I ever stream Breezebiter farming, I am 100% yoinking that for a title. That's phenomenal. I love it. Some achievements might be easier to get once you're max level. Midsummer Dragon Cosmetics skipped me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully your bad luck protection rolls over to next year so you can, like, get it real early, real easy. Pre-patch 23rd, we get Skywriting. Yeah, presumably that would apply to Remix. I guess I don't know. We don't really have a lot of framework for how that's going to work. Still waiting for warbands. Even if you can kill it more than once per day, if I can get one Breezebiter kill, I call that lucky and move on. Ugh. Yikes. Well, that time 897k, not quite a mil. In theory, you can beg on any class after pre-patch. I suppose so. If that panned out. Hope we get a toggle for each mount. It would be nice, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. I think we're stuck with it. He's dead already. 38 to 40 Celsius in the south of Spain. Oh. Ooh, I got a new weapon. I got a Taral, the Emperor's Scepter. Specific color. Mine forever.
It cannot be wielded this way. You tempt forces you do not understand.
Anything off the list.
You have doomed
Wonder how bad the login queues will be on pre-patch. I have to log into like 55 characters. I don't even think I'm gonna do that on the first day. 55 characters, that's a project. That's like a make a snack and put on a show at your second monitor kind of project. Yeah, long login for the warband to get sorted out. I don't know. I think that would just be your first login on your account and not all characters, but I don't know for sure. I don't know much about it. My druid has been sitting on the Sunwell Lego bowl since Wrath.
5,
Finally, my
4,
patience will pay
3,
off.
2, 1.
They're warning people about it. How bad does it need to be warned? A heads up announcement. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty big, lot of stuff to sort out. So I wonder if we're going to have performance issues on that day just because of how many people are doing it too. I know that's why they were encouraging people to try and test basically just that login process on PTR. They do a Twitch drop for launch and they publish a list of streamers. Make sure you're on the list. That's not up to me. Oh, I found your channel originally. Aw. If there's anything to apply or sign up for, I will apply or sign up, but that's all I can really do. Yeah, I think sometimes the forums are just for complaining, you know. Sometimes you just gotta let off some steam. That's where you go. Alright, come on, Mr. War Scout. I would like 1 Pandaren Tome, please. Oh, I got another Bear Hearts Basher. I've had that same mace 3 or 4 times now. I've realized that there's nothing wrong with people complaining, and there's no reason for me to think that their reasons for complaining need to be valid. People can complain about things that I find silly, and that's totally fine. And that there's nothing that requires me to read their complaints, especially when it's something like the WoW forums that you can easily avoid. It is way too easy to get worked up over people, getting worked up, you know, being like, this is really what you're mad about? And yes, and that's okay. It's not you. It's alright. Especially easy for me to not take it personally when it's not my game they're talking about. I didn't make it. I don't have any personal ownership over it. But people have every right to express themselves. Major part of playing WoW is to complain about it. It's definitely a part of the social experience for some people. It's kind of a habit. It's just like having a water cooler talk with your coworkers and complaining about like the traffic or the weather or your boss if you are unfortunate and you guys don't like your boss or whatever it is. You know, it's like a bonding thing. Google and other news aggregators have started putting controversial WoW forum posts in my news feeds. I noticed that sometimes the inflammatory posts would end up as like news, and the way that it puts the headline is it takes the headline of the forum poster, which could turn out to be just the most insane sentence ever, and you're like, wait, who's reporting that news? And it's just like some random person on the forums. It's nothing that you need to be worried about. But it's funny how Google counts it the same way they would count like an article posted by an establishment, although those also to some extent do the exact same thing. Well-respected publications will absolutely clickbait you with inflammatory headlines because that's just the market these days, so. On a good day, I just don't scroll at all. Kitty. But, you know, not every day's a good day. Hopefully today's a good day. Feels good so far. Tome hasn't dropped yet? No. My one complaint about this farm is because you're farming it off of so many different things, like the boxes and the rares and the random mobs, there's no real way to quantify how lucky or unlucky you are. It's not like a typical rarity grind where it can be like, this is a 1% drop chance mount, I've killed it 411 times, I am cursed and some deity hates me. It's, you just kind of keep going and it either drops or it doesn't. You don't have a good way. Like, you could track, like, you could probably set up something to track how many kills you have, but it's messy. Seem to have made a critical error in starting the speed leveler. Don't have the scrapping spell. You should be able to get it. You should have you should be able to get it from the little tutorial quest. There's the one where they want you to like socket a little red gem and then combine the red gems. If you keep doing those, they should give it to you, I think. Can't believe what Canadian streamer Hazelnutty Games said about her dog. Breaking news. He's a good boy. Cute baby. Actual article. She said dog was cute. And also fluffy. My moosey bear.
Patience.
43 minutes? No, I've got 17 minutes left. Although I should probably go like an extra 10 or so because I started late. I should stream for another 20 minutes at least. I was not quick getting my butt into gear for stream today. Just one more. Listen, any one of these guys could have it. I'm not the fastest at this kind of grind, but it is kind of calming. Plus, oh, you guys can't see her. And if I go to adjust the camera, then she'll move. But there's a, you can see a little bit. There's a little kid. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sugar bean. It's not in the shop, but chin rubs are her favorite. She like leans her whole head into them. Baby girl. Wish my cat liked cuddling. I'm really lucky that mine does, because I'm very touchy-feely with my pets. Within their boundaries, but I love cuddling with them. And I remember when I first got a cat, I was thinking to myself, it's okay. Like, I knew that some cats were not a big fan of it, and some cats were a little bit more independent and standoffish. And I was trying to prepare myself to form a relationship with the cat on the cat's terms and not force myself on her. But then she turned out to be a little cuddle baby. A little snuggle bear. Need to pay the cuddle tax, it's their job. Large fort. Gigantic emotes. Lucky my cats were snuggly. You could tell from like just meeting her for 5 minutes at the shelter that she was a super cuddle bug. She climbed right on me right away. New kitty turning out to be a huge snuggle bear, but only with my wife. It's really funny how that turns out sometimes. I've seen all kinds of stories of people where a couple will have a pet, sometimes a cat, sometimes a dog, and they'll do like equal amounts of work, or maybe even one person will do more of like the chores and the feeding and the grooming and whatnot. But then the pet will just pick one person, and that's their person, even if it's not the person who like does all of the walks and meals and everything. They're like, listen, I do everything for this dog. And yet, you just chose them like snoozing with the other person. Cat adoption Insta, have to stop myself from running out to them. That's where Miss Kira is from. He's so big I can't get comfy and he can't get comfy and I can't lift him. Yeah, I give Moosey lots of hugs, but we only cuddle on the couch when he finds a way to slide in that he's comfy with. Usually what we like doing is I'll either sit on the front edge of the couch or like on the floor in front of the couch, and he'll lay on it behind me, and he can really like cuddle up that way and be it's like having a heater right behind you. He's very warm. Comes to wanting cuddle, she'll scream at my wife to pick her up. Aww. Any shows Moose likes to watch. Moose likes the Moose Show. Sometimes I put videos of puppy Moose on the TV and he'll sit and watch those, probably because there's like squeaky toy sounds in them and stuff. He hasn't been watching as much TV. He used to watch me play Animal Crossing. He used to follow my character. No, there was something else. He was following little circles around on the screen, but I don't remember what game they were from. One of our cats growing up loved Judge Judy. That's so funny. Moose was really curious about the TV when he was young, and now he's kind of let it go a bit. He'll watch it a bit, but he's mostly just there to hang out with us. He used to woof at the shadow in the TV that was kind of like his reflection when it was off. Because when the television's turned off, it would be kind of like a shadow dog reflection of Moosey. And when he was a puppy, he would get all concerned about that, and he would be like, that doesn't look good. I gotta do it. Woof. He always looked like he was so reluctant to bark, and like he really had to work himself up to it. But every now and then he would see something and he'd be like, oh guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna woof. I'm gonna do it. And he had just the cutest little woof. Love seeing videos of people's dogs barking at Disney movies like Disney Dogs and Tarzan. Kitty likes hugs too sometimes. I'm glad we got one of the Throne of Thunderla Farmogs. That was nice. We're struggling with these Kunlai Summit ones, though. Oh. Kitty, I'm not the right height for my elbow to be a chin rest. But how can you say no, you know? I think I have to. That's not gonna work. Family's dog doesn't care about anything, just wants to be outside hunting and watching nature. Keeping an eye on things. Surprised that Kira and Moose aren't streaming themselves. The madness. Watching nature's totally where it's at. Especially when a hummingbird shows itself. It's a tortoiseshell cat that lives near the train station. I see her every day when I go to work. She loves pets, so she might come home with me one day, but I already have 3 cats, so I'm trying to hold back as much as I can. Aww. Is there a chance it could be somebody's cat that just hangs out there, or is it more likely to be a stray cat? I meet lots of friendly kitties like that, but they're all people's cats that are outdoor cats that just kind of wander around. I've never seen a dog not run to eat her foot. Oh, her food immediately when we put it down. I thought you said foot for a moment and I was a bit confused, but I mean, I have seen my dog gnaw on his own foot when he's feeling especially goofy. It's like the extension of, instead of chasing on his tail, he'll stand up and his front half will fall down and his back half will still be up, and then he'll trip himself by biting his own back foot and chewing on it like the hyena from The Lion King. Worst thing a pet can do is chew in their nails. Makes terrible squish noise. Miss Kira can put on quite the show when she pressure washes her coat. It's pretty remarkable. Train station's in the middle of nowhere. Aww. Aww. Oh, I got a mace, but I have it already. I don't need that one. I love cats and dogs. I could never pick between them. I love them all.
My wrath flows.
Why not both, you know? I mean, sometimes there's good reasons for why not both, but I'm glad that thus far in my life I have not had to long-term choose between cats or dogs. Seen never heard cats before? They just go from couch to couch depending on who's home. We're getting lots of gear that we can scrap. Like, we are getting lots of drops here. I'm a little surprised that we haven't been... we did. You know what? We got the fan, actually. We got the fan from Kunlai Summit. That's a pretty big deal. That could have just as easily been on my vision board. If I were on my own, I wouldn't get another animal unless I knew I was settling somewhere long term. Yeah. Can be tricky. I was thinking recently about all the money I've spent on pets over the years. And how I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's like a pretty big trade-off, especially with the costs of everything and whatnot. But I wouldn't change a thing. There's things in my life that I've bought that haven't been worthwhile, or money that I've spent that I've regretted, but not a penny that I've spent on either of these guys. Does intimidate me a bit. Yeah. And like, I have to be comfortable with, if something happens, I have savings that are earmarked for vet care if something happens. And I need to be comfortable with the idea that if something really terrible goes wrong, that it could be a lot of money. That's something that I've just kind of accepted about owning pets, on top of the, the regular care and vet visits and maintenance and whatnot. It could very well have set me behind on other financial goals, and that's just like a life choice you gotta make. No, I don't think that came out the wrong way at all. I think that's a very understandable statement. There is pet insurance available, but you do need to be very cautious of what they cover, and what they don't cover. Because just because you have pet insurance doesn't mean that emergencies aren't going to bite you. And sometimes it bites you on top of that money that you've been spending every month, because they decided that this is not something that they deal with, or something happens and they'll pay for this care but not this care, but this is the thing that's actually going to work. And pet insurance can be very expensive too. It's like a good personal choice. Okay. Where is my book? Who has it? Bet you one of these guys has it. You guys look like readers. Help, it's the library police. Stop where you are. Unhand that tome. Literally looking for the nerd of the yak people to steal their book. I was gonna say, they don't really look like readers, and then I thought to myself, what does a reader look like? What kind of a bias is that? Anybody can read. Anybody can enjoy books. It doesn't have a single thing to do with what you look like and what you do when you're at war. That's a silly bias. Of course they can read. Casters for sure. Wizards. Looking barbarian in a loincloth might be playing into the can't read stereotype. Maybe, but not necessarily true. There are plenty of people that are enormous, in excellent shape, could easily barbarian around, enjoy novels, enjoy all kinds of things. Nothing says that your hobbies have to match. Other people are going to spend enough time putting you in boxes. You don't need them for yourself, too. Bought pet insurance. A month later, Husky swallowed a whole bone, brand new. Should have been way too big to swallow. What a nightmare. Happy she's okay. Happened to have gotten the insurance. Yeah. 6'6". Wouldn't call myself a barbarian. What fantasy class label, doesn't have to be a WoW class, do you think fits your appearance most closely? Like, if people were going to guess what class you were from, like, what you look like IRL. You know, what label would you give yourself if not barbarian? And then follow-up question, what about me? The easy answer is caster, because I'm scrawny, but I need to think about it. There might be more options. Some flavor of druid or wizard. I need to see a list. Let me limit myself to WoW classes just for me to make it easier, because I don't know the other ones well enough. I think I would be at priest, honestly. With a hope to make my way to druid, because when I think of a priest, I think of someone who's in about the shape that I'm in, which is fair but not muscular. And then when I think of a druid, I think of that same shape but with more wiry strength. And, you know, the flexibility that you need to have to turn into an enormous cat. Although I don't, yeah. A bard. Hunter, maybe? Going with WoW classes, maybe a mage or a priest. Between mages and priests, who do you think works out more? I think priests. I think priests would be more like, they would have more time. Mages seem busy. Mages seem like they would spend a lot of time at school. You know, they're always summoning pastries.
What do you need?
They seem like they would have like the student diet where it's like all studying, no personal care. Doing push-ups for the Lord. for the light. For a loon. Making portals. Portals do seem like they, you know, if you're holding it for a long time. I think conjured meals have 0 calories. Somebody likes to read and bake, but I agree, and priest as well for me. I need that, like, I got that, you know, swept out of the church basement on a Saturday physique. It's one step above just got out of bed and then stopped there. This person looks like they might walk around a garden sometimes. Alright, how are we doing here? I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes and then I'll wrap up. Survival hunter for hiking, spending time outside and exploring. Doesn't horseback riding give you like pretty decent muscles if you do it a lot? And like core strength and stuff? I feel like a lot of different classes just ride around on horses. Bonus if you ride around horses in armor. The book might win another day. It might. At the wrap up, I thought this was going to be your first ever continuous 96 hours. How many days is that? 4? You wouldn't like me after the first 6.
Speak up.
5 days. We just live off of delivered tacos and sandwiches. Had an old colleague who was a competitive equestrian rider. Her legs were insanely powerful. My legs are strong. Right now, my legs are mad. My hip flexors just need a little bit of a break, I think. 4? I can't count. Listen, I know 48 hours is 2 days, and after that, it's just a long time. Couldn't sit properly or walk in a straight line that day after my first ever riding lesson. Did you ride the same horse often, or was it like a different horse every time kind of situation? And if it was the same horse, did you like your horsey? Nice horsey? I don't know anything about horses, but whenever I see them, I go, pretty. Look, it's a pretty horsey. 30. Funny thing is I'm a university lecturer for statistics and imperial research, and I can't count and I'm really bad at maths. Aw. I think in a strange way, I think that's really wonderful, you know. Just, first of all, I think you're being modest, but you know, don't let what you're naturally suited to stop you from doing stuff you want to do. Where you start doesn't have anything to do with where you're going to end up. Can't believe I got the Conthrogs map before Malbox. Love cuddling with a big horse. Always possible to learn new things. I've been in yoga class butting up against my ability to count and remember how many of a thing you've done. I'm sure doing reps at the gym is a similar thing where you just kind of need to keep track. But for beginners right now, they have us doing certain amounts of the sun salutations, the Surya Namaskars, and especially in the second one, which is a little bit more intense. By the time I've done 3, I don't remember how many I've done, and I'm like, I feel like it's more. I should probably do more. I don't think I've done 5. Do I got another one in me? We'll see. Let's find out. And I think eventually I'll be good enough at it to remember how many I've done, to keep track of where I am in my practice. But like right now, I'm like, this feels like it's almost enough. Surprised the mace hasn't even dropped. Not naturally suited for that. Kind of fell into it. Luck is you don't need to be great at math to do statistics. It's more about logic. That I can work with. Oh, that's not a Murloc onesie. Riding school had a variety of horses that were school trained, meaning they were lazy, so I got to try out a few different ones. First one I had was an Icelandic one, not very big, kind of wide across the back. Oh. Nice horsey. What's for lunch? Something. I heard sounds from the kitchen. I get to find out. I'm very spoiled. I'm excited though. I'm pretty hungry again. Which is surprising because I had 2 eggs for breakfast. Naturally suited to be an actor. Always wanted to be one. Classes are entertaining. Acting classes or statistics classes? Acting classes sound fun. You crave more food when you start working out. Yeah, I wasn't sure, and I do wear my watch, so I should be able to get some data, but I haven't actually tracked like the session yet. How much calorie burn is going on in it compared to like a run or a big hike? Because I know when I go like hiking for like a really long one, I end up starving because you're not like working crazy hard in any given moment, but you're working moderately hard for like 4 hours, and that usually makes me real hungry. But because this is shorter, I wasn't sure how much extra food I would need. T-Rex walk into the kitchen and forage like a real T-Rex. You see the vision, you get it. Stats classes, such a dry subject, have to make it entertaining. That's where my acting skills come in. Would you say pho is similar to ramen? Partner wants to try it for dinner, never had pho. In my subjective opinion, pho is yummier than ramen. I love pho. I find that, especially for my own situation, which is specific to me, but as a not meat eater, the vegetarian and the seafood pho broth is dramatically miles ahead of the complexity of the vegetarian and seafood-based ramen broths that I've had. I think I just prefer the flavor profile of it, but the broth is amazing. You have made me hungry. I kind of want fun now. You have to try it. Yeah, different types of noodles, different types of broth. Usually when I get pho, it's like loaded up with veggies. You don't have to make it spicy if you don't want to. It'll probably come with some kind of a chili oil that you can add or not add depending on if you want it spicy. If you don't like spicy food, but don't mess with it because it's hot. Vegetarian sounds like I'll give it a try. It also varies a lot by place. I had to try like a few different pho places here before I found one that I liked, because some of them do it better than others. I miss my pho place in Oregon. They were good. Shelters. Don't sleep on Vietnamese iced coffee. I don't know what I'd want to do for myself. If I can work from home, I would. Lean into something comp sci related in a digital space. Chili oil? You mean nectar of the gods? How are you? Do you level faster with scenarios or dungeons? Heroic dungeons combined with normal raids are my go-to leveling method. I have a YouTube video that lays out the exact pattern that I follow. But with that, I can usually get it done in between 2 and 3 hours. Yeah, I'm sure that there are places that make a really yummy vegetarian ramen, but I've had a lot of really disappointing vegetarian ramen and vegan ramen. It sometimes ends up just kind of tasting like carrot water. And I've had pho like that too, but generally a really good pho broth, especially if it's like, oh, I love the lemongrass ones. There's just more layers to it, it feels like. Is there a command for that video? Maybe. Who's to say? Me. I'm to say. I'm the streamer. Did I make a command for that? Let me see. It's only going to be relevant for a little bit longer. I guess, you know what, it's not. Remix isn't ending anytime soon. I'm just assuming other people are going to quit Remix right when I do. That's fairly self-centered of me. What do we have? I'm looking at my list of commands. Alphabetical order. That's not useful. I want to say no. Also, the command is useless. Oh, that's really disappointing about the quote vegetarian ramen. That sucks. Great, now I'm gonna have to get pho in the next week or two. I'm sure you can try to make it on your own, but that's not something I would even try at. I think a really good pho broth takes a long time to make properly. It's not something you can rush. And I am queen of rushing my food when I cook it, so I think you'll be able to manage that challenge. Yeah, I think so too. You're welcome. Need to find somewhere that does Asian food without fish and seafood. Nuts and apples. Alright, how are we doing? Yeah, we did. We've made it through time. We didn't get the book. It's being stubborn, but it's only Friday today. We got the weekend streams to go still, I believe. Also, I guess we have next week as well because pre-patch is until the 23rd. I have more bronze, good bronze to use. Some of it. Also, excuse you. What if this guy has it? The last mob of the day. Oh, he didn't even drop loot. Rude. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Keep an eye out my YouTube channel for the news video tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be out first thing in the morning, but I will try to have it out at least by end of day. Do my best. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.